And a happy Tuesday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout. That said, we will being shortly. I spelt that wrong.
You didn't have to point that out. But good morning,
Joe
Matthew.
did already on the nasty.
Oh, Joe
That's
did.
how I
Oh,
saw
thank
it.
you, Joe.
Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here alongside Murray McCourt from the ranch, as well as the VIP Golf Show, which is off right now until golf season gets going again next year. Yeah,
You
that's
guys are
not a
still
good
doing
thing.
stuff there, right?
The show. VIP
No,
Golf
I
Show.
know about the show, but at the
Yeah.
ranch, it's a little
Yeah.
hive of activity.
I was mentioning. I meant to just the show is off until next year. That's my
Which
bad.
sucks.
Sorry.
I hate it.
Yes.
I mean, that's why this is so awesome
you
because
can
I
still-
just love
come
doing
back.
that VIP golf show so much that to come and hang out with
Yeah.
you guys in the hangout is
Pretty
a
cool.
pretty fun thing to do to
That's awesome.
keep me going a little bit on that stuff.
And YouTube Trev is with us as well. The
guys.
reason things are a little messy is I think we fixed the camera issue, but I had to rebuild everything this morning of behind the scenes of this show. So I was a little bit of a scramble to get us on
You
the
did
air.
a good job, Matty.
So hopefully that will
as
get
per
improved.
usual.
But,
Well
You
done.
crushed it.
Well
Day
done.
one, my friend.
well, we get this update for this program we use, and it messes with our cameras.
That's
It was
annoying.
all glitchy.
It looked like we're stop motion and stuff.
Yeah,
and the
it
only
was
way for
weird.
it to work was us to go back to an old version. But
tech-
then when we go back to an old version, it wouldn't let me open up our show because it's like, well, you open it up in a new version. You can't do it in an old version. I was like, oh, that's wonderful. What a great system. So that's the behind the scenes complaining Matt has for this Tuesday.
Welcome to the IT Hangout on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Technology only works when it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's its own mind.
Yes, it's a wonderful thing when it works.
Exactly.
When it doesn't work, it's a pain in the ass.
I'm just glad that you're like a troubleshooter
Yes.
and you don't let anything get by you. So,
Well, we mentioned it on the morning show today, right before, like 10 minutes before we started the show, our internet wasn't working.
Well,
The
that's-
main computer.
come on. Is that why the Ethernet, that long
That's what.
Ethernet
Well,
cable-
because I then had to quickly go run it to our router. It worked from there. I then ran it into this room. It worked from here, so I went with it. And now I've just replaced, plugged it in back in there before we jumped on here, and it was working.
this business
So I
is
have
pure
no idea.
glamour.
Well,
I have no idea.
see, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I'd have to call somebody.
Well, this is just plugging in a cable.
Well,
So,
I probably still need to call somebody. I'm mechanically declined. I can't nothing. I can
are you
do
good with
nothing.
cars at all?
I can put my foot on the gas and put
So
my
you do
foot on
that.
the brake. I can do that.
You could pump your own gas, then I'm assuming.
Yeah, but that's about it. My dad rebuilds old cars
Does he?
right from scratch. He gets a
That's cool.
pile of metal and rebuilds Model Ts.
The guy who owns Legends, he has a big car collection.
Oh,
Is he
yes.
just collect
Well,
or
golf
does he?
cart?
Is it golf cart
Golf
collection?
cart
Oh, that's
collection.
cool.
That's
no,
nice.
it's
That's
not
new.
cars. Yeah, he has antique old golf carts. It's
Okay.
crazy. A little museum right at the golf course.
I like Legends. It's like a hidden gem almost.
Yeah, like it is kind of. I mean, it's not really off the beaten track.
No.
but, and it's got 27 holes.
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a fun golf course for sure.
We're lucky here. We really are. We've got
Do you
a lot
know
of good
cars?
courses?
No, that's like something. It would be so cool, Like I always my dad's pretty good with cars, and I'm like, that'd be cool. But no, I'm just like Murray.
Yeah.
I know how to take a left. I know how to take a right.
It skips a generation, I think.
Yeah,
some
I
of
think
those
so.
things.
Yeah.
Funny enough, you're good with cars, are you not? Would you change your own oil?
I changed my own oil. And
That's further than a lot of other people.
Man, yeah, that's impressive. I mean, when you have hair
Yeah.
like that, how in the world do you know how to change the oil in your car?
you fake it till you make it, Murray.
Is that what you do?
Fake it till you make it. I did work in a tire shop for 4
Yeah.
years.
Oh.
So like that
Nice.
element I've got down pat. I worked my way up to supervisor level at Costco at the tender age of 21. I remember I was
you.
working there with an older guy. Like at the time, I thought he was older. He's late 40s, and he's like, "So you're in charge?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So when someone comes up to the shop and starts screaming at me and wants to talk to the manager, and you're in charge, I have to bring them you." And I was like, "I understand where you're going with this, but yes,
Wow.
Did you ever have to deal with that?
yeah."
How did the customers take an
Not
older
well.
guy handing it off to the younger guy?
No, not well. No respect.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
One thing about Costco that they've just added, if you get your tires done there, they use nitrogen air.
Yeah, we had that.
But now they have nitrogen air tire fillers. Air pump
course
for those
they
that
do.
use it.
It's
and
Costco, man.
And it's all free and it does it for you. You just
Yeah.
plug it on and it naturally figures out where
Yeah.
it needs to go.
That's cool.
Costco,
awesome.
I have to admit, listen, it's you're working, I don't know, retail or whatever, but I was in the shop. Regardless, you're working for a big company, but the stuff they have is awesome. It's good quality, and they don't mess around. So I'm still a loyal Costco shopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Costco's
business
top
center
notch.
up
over
just
here?
That must
close
be
to
big
here
for you.
too. Oh, yeah. So like for the golf course, we buy all of our confectionery and stuff there. But even personally, it's wintertime now. Our restaurant's not open, so I went there and bought a bunch of stuff to prep some lunches and whatnot. And I bought this box of chicken. And I cooked it all off, portioned it in like 6-ounce portions of chicken, and it cost me $38, and I got 5 weeks
Wow.
of
Nice,
chicken for lunch. I mean, for $38, that's pretty
Throw it
good.
in the
That's a
freezer.
pretty good price.
Hey,
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of Costco, did you want?
Well, I'm wondering where you're going with this.
Do you think I'm going in the same spot you're gonna go?
there's a potential?
Okay, do you want to go?
You go, and I'll
All
see
right.
if it's the same.
Speaking of Costco, Murray, and I know that we're big TaylorMade fans, and you have the Performance Center at the ranch, which is excellent. I'm a big TaylorMade guy now. The gear that Costco has, the Kirkland signature
This is
balls,
where I was going.
and even like their starter sets and stuff like that. Like, is it actually made by? Is it Titleist or something like that? Are they? Because everyone says, "Oh, Kirkland signature." If you find one of those balls, like they're good balls.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
What don't
I
you
don't
like
use
about
them.
them?
I don't know. Whenever I've played with them, well, like I'm not a great enough golfer to be able to dissect exactly why I'm not good with the certain golf balls. But those ones, I bought a bunch. I never played well with them.
Yeah. So, I mean, that stuff, it's probably pretty good quality stuff. I've never hit it. I've never hit the golf ball. I've never hit the golf club, so I can't really speak to it from personal experience. But, you hear that. You hear
Yeah.
people talk about that Kirkland ball being a good ball. And, in the clubs, you see some people talking about it on social media and stuff like that, about those being good clubs. I mean, so they're probably okay. But, I mean, they don't have the fancy name behind it or the marketing behind it. But it's at Costco, and Costco moves a lot of product.
They
Well,
do.
there's great prices for their golf balls.
Absolutely,
Like, that's the
yeah.
thing, and that's like I wanted to like them. I've used them. I found them. They were hard to get in Canada for the longest time, and I don't know. I feel like I lose distance with them than I have with other golf balls.
Well,
Them-
For me personally, the way
Yeah.
I hit a ball and stuff, I didn't find them good for me, even though people do really enjoy them.
Some people love them, but like it's just because, like, okay, I'll use this as an example. You go to a Costco liquor store, and the vodka that they carry, the Kirkland signature, apparently is made by Grey Goose. So, and when I worked there, they told us for some of the products, well, this company makes it, we just put it under this brand. So apparently that's the same thing for the golf balls and the gear. Like, don't get me wrong. If I see a case of Kirkland signature balls and then some TaylorMade super soft, whatever, like the generic rewrap, I'm going to get the TaylorMade or the burners or whatever.
the one thing I'd say about golf balls that the vast majority of golfers don't do is you need to pick a ball that you really like and only play with that ball. Because you see a lot of people, their bag is just full of whatever balls they find.
That's mine.
And whatnot. Okay. All the balls are a little bit different. So, like, you don't like the Kirkland ball, so it doesn't necessarily work for you. But every ball, some balls fly a little further. Some balls spin a little better. You want to use, no matter what level of golf you're at, you want to use a golf ball that is the exact same. So every time you hit the ball onto the green from 100 yards, you kind of have a pretty good idea what that ball is going to do. Because if you're using a different golf ball, it's going to react different every time. So you really have no idea what type of shot you should be hitting. So that would be my biggest advice when it comes to golf ball. Pick one you like and stick to it.
Interesting.
I'll still pick up balls. Like, I look, if I see one that's, I'll grab certain ones. Because it's always, I actually do generally, I grab what I have and I golf that. And I stick with that brand until I'm annoyed with that ball. And then I've lost them all. But it's always good just for me to have extras because I will lose a lot of balls. So it's like, okay, if I'm running out before I can go buy, I have these balls. There's certain ones I will always, like, if I see it's like, yeah, nope, that one can stay. I'm good without some of those. You golf a bit. Do you care what you're golfing?
Yeah, like I feel like I'm not at the level. Like I've never been able to find it. Usually every ball I hit is going. I'm missing, or it's going in the water or something. So I haven't been able to like find a ball that's consistent with my play. They all suck for me.
Well, I'm not sure it's the ball then, Trev.
yeah. I don't think I got a feeling it's not the ball.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for the good ball for me. So
You TaylorMade
it's
then
kinda
for the
fun.
golf ball? Or?
Yeah, well, I'm
Which
a
one?
partner
The
to
X?
the X, TP5X,
Oh,
yeah.
that's super cool.
Yeah, like they load me up. Like I get my clubs and everything from them. I do the math, and I'm like, holy crap! They just gave me over $5,000 worth of stuff. That's pretty cool.
Well, you get golf balls though from them too.
Yeah, I get everything, gloves and bags and everything.
Average round, how many balls lost?
He's a
0.
pro.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure.
He probably uses one ball for a round. But probably just uses a couple just because he
How many
smacks
would
them
you
around.
say?
Me, like
Yeah.
2. One on a good round, 2 because
Yeah.
I'll always have that one shot that sewers my round.
Yeah, I'd say I'm
lose it.
probably about 2, like most rounds 2-ish.
Usually 1 though.
But then like on the rounds that I'm actually really terrible, it's closer probably to 10.
Yeah.
You?
I think my last round this summer, I just did 9, and I think I lost over a ball a hole. So
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
it was. I was very frustrated.
Where did you lose them? Off the tee or?
Off the tee for sure. Huge slice. This slice I never had, and then all of a sudden this year I picked up a slice. I was never good with my driver.
If only you knew a pro.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say-
Driving in today, I was
Okay,
like,
so-
I gotta ask Murray to help me out with
is
my
the key to
swing.
put the driver away?
No, the key is to figure out why you're slicing and fix that.
Yeah.
Because if you're slicing with your driver, you're slicing with every club. Just because the driver's longer, it looks worse than it is with the other clubs. But you're still going to slice your 3-wood if you're slicing your driver. But as I said on an earlier episode of the Hangout, I could fix your chipping in 5 minutes.
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I could. I know,
He's a pro.
I could. Now, a big slice like that, I don't know if I couldn't say 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
I can help you.
Okay, yeah, let's figure something out, Murray. Because
Yeah.
it's honestly like it's crazy. I go to the driving range so much. Like this summer, I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna get consistent, figure something out, and I was okay. And then the second, I don't know what happens if it's just like I see a fairway, I'm like, okay, let's crush this.
Listen, there's a big difference between hitting golf balls on a driving range and
Yeah.
playing on a golf course, and it's all right up
Yeah,
here
it is.
then,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
For sure.
So,
Because you
it's,
can sit there and hit great shots on a driving range all day long, and
Yeah.
then you get on a golf course, and it's like,
The-
oh,
the
there's
first shot's
out of
like-
bounds over there, and there's water over here. Oh no.
That's me.
Yeah.
But hey, you do not put that driver away. You let the big dog.
Yeah,
eat.
yeah,
Exactly,
No, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'm going.
Just
Yeah,
figure it.
let's go.
I've gotten better at when my rounds, if a driver's not going well to start, I put it away for the rest of the round.
Yeah.
I'm slowly, well, before I got hurt, that was something I started slowly figuring out.
Well, because the driver, like I said, it's longer club, so it's just going to slice more. You're still going to slice your 3-wood. It's just not going to be as bad, so it's more playable for sure.
And also like you shouldn't tinker, for me at least, on a golf course during a round. I'm gonna have more bad shots. I'm just gonna get more frustrated. I'm gonna get angry, and I'm gonna want to throw things. That it's just better to start bringing down my clubs
Unless you know
mentally.
Unless you know exactly what you're doing wrong, and you go, oh, that's not my normal swing. This is my normal swing.
Well,
okay,
Murray-
and then you find it again.
Generally, I don't know what the hell I'm doing up there. So
Grip it and rip it, eh?
it's I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm trying to set up with, but I'll work for one round. The next round, I think I'm doing the same thing, and nope, not there.
Yeah.
I am
That's
lost.
the worst.
Like I said before, no one has ever accused golf of being easy.
Yeah,
But that's what makes
it's
it
the
fun.
toughest sport. I swear.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It
Like
is.
I hate that I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Because like every round you go out there, you get so frustrated sometimes, and then you have that great 18th hole, and you're like,
Yeah.
let's do another 18, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
And,
exactly.
and
that's
it's
all it takes is one good hit for me to keep me coming back. I'm like, oh yeah. So
Yeah. And why can't I
Okay.
do that every single
Yeah.
shot?
And what's the cliche? A bad day of golf is better than a day,
day
at
at
work
work.
or whatever. Like
yeah.
I'll gladly be out on a course for 4.5 hours, even though I'm gonna have a terrible day because I'm golfing.
But you do love what you do. You have a pretty
Yeah.
cool job.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if I could golf every day instead, like I'd maybe go do that.
Yeah.
Hey, Murray, do you ever get golfed out?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Get burnt out by it?
If I don't play a ton. Typically 1 to 2 a week is normal, but there's times of year where I'm in a lot of events or just different charity events, different PGA events that I play. And if I end up playing like 6 or 7 days in a row, that might be a little much for me for sure.
Yeah.
But
Mentally or physically? Or
well,
both?
not physically. That's never going to bother me, but just
Never gonna be tired.
mentally.
That's good then. Yeah.
Yeah, and I walk and carry my
I know.
bag. I mean, so that's fun to me. Exercise is a good thing. I like
Burn
it.
like
Good
1,200
for you.
calories in a full round doing that.
If you carry your clubs, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
impressive.
It's a lot.
people should do it more for sure. But the hard part is I don't drink on a golf course. If you're doing it, how are you going to carry all your beers?
I do it. I
Do you walk?
Not as much as I used to, but still, I think I had walked twice this year. And I didn't play that many rounds. It was mostly tournaments, which was because of how busy we were getting this set up. But yeah, I should walk more, but I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
And-
just
I need to get a good push cart.
And when you
that's the
get
one thing.
when you get the keys and you're like, yeah, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know, you get into that routine. You're like,
It's also the people you golf with have to. I don't. How do
Yeah.
you do it? Because you don't. Not everyone golfs walks when you walk.
accurate, and
So
they
how-
don't want to. And some people feel guilted into it because I walk, for sure.
But like, is it still enjoyable when they're driving off and you're walking away?
sure,
yeah, let them go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
isn't-
it's like when you go for a jog outside or whatever. I mean, you're in nature. I mean, golf courses are all beautiful, and so when you're just walking, and even if you're by yourself, you just get to enjoy nature and think about life, think about solving all the world's problems, and that's good.
You walker?
No. I walked for the first time this summer in like my 6 years of golfing. I love this. I'm kind of like Tommy. When the key's in, I'm like, let's go, boys.
You just want to rip it out?
Yeah. I have a lot of fun just driving the cart. It's awesome.
I walked Highlands. Some friends invited me out there. Guy and Byron, and so I had the push cart, and that 10th straight uphill. It's like 100 feet uphill. It's like a par 5. It's like a bowling alley.
Number 11.
Or is it 11?
11,
Sorry, yeah. And the guy and them are all members, and they're walking, no problem. I'm on the right side down. They're like, Tom, you're down the hill. I'm like, oh my God, my cart fell over. And they just, for them, it was a breeze. Because they do it every couple times
I'd
a
rather
week.
carry than use a push cart. Like that, like you go up a hill with a push cart. That is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I
so
learned
I
that.
just
But it was
rather have
still-
my clubs on my back. It's
fun. But yeah, the club's on the back. You put them down. I get that. And then you carry the beer in the one hand. I mean, some people.
If
Some
you have the
people
dual
do.
straps, you could still have beers in two
I
hands.
have the dual straps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I may have done that at one time
I'm
or
sure
another.
you have.
Yeah. Whoops.
That's why you need the push cart for me. Cup holders,
there you
put
go.
them in,
Yeah.
walk away. You were gone for a couple weeks doing
Yeah.
business stuff, looking at stuff to populate your store for next year. Is that
Yeah,
right?
it's a buying
Things looking
show
good?
season in the golf world. It's kind of over now, but it's kind of crazy that you have to order all your merchandise for your pro shop by the end of October for sure, or you're not going to get it in time for the golf season to start. So a few weeks back, I was in Toronto with Sean, our head pro at the ranch, at the BPG buying show, which was fun being in Toronto. I never spent any time in downtown Toronto, like I know you have. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's big sports bar right across from Scotiabank Arena. Real sports.
$19 or $30 chicken wings.
Yeah,
What?
They're
the
darn
wings.
good chicken wings.
They
though.
are, but they're $30.
Seriously?
For like,
How many
for
did you get? Like 2
8?
pounds?
Just a regular
No?
order, yeah.
Yikes.
Jesus.
$30.
I don't actually
Yikes.
remember them being $30, but my only knock on it is all I drink for alcohol is red wine. At sports bars, they don't have a very good wine list. So the wine was in, but the wings, were they good? But yeah, so anyways, I was in Toronto BPG show, and then I was in Calgary at the PGA of Alberta buying show. So all of our buying's done. Now we just wait for it all to come and
and
open
game.
it up, and it's like Christmas time in the spring. Here we go. That's what we bought. You don't always remember exactly what you bought. You get so excited now, like, oh yeah, we did so good. We bought all this great stuff. It's going to be so amazing. And then it's not very many things, but once in a while you'll open up a show. We ordered that.
So this is like the merch for the pro shop and
Yes,
stuff?
for sure.
okay.
Yeah, we bought a bunch from your buddies Rolo Golf again.
Jesse Kirschenbaum.
Yeah.
He actually called me this morning.
Did he?
Sorry, I'll call you back later, Jess.
Better be watching.
Well, so this Rolo golf stuff, he introduced me to his buddy Jesse 4 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
He owns this shirt Rolo. Their clothes are nothing I would ever wear. I'm a conservative dresser.
very loud.
It's very loud.
I
And,
like the loud stuff.
yeah.
You'd love Rolo.
I gotta go look this up.
So he wanted to get some stuff into our shop. We sell a lot of stuff at the ranch. He wanted to get our stuff, and he said, "I'll even just to get it in, we'll do it on consignment." So I talked to Sean about it. Said it's going to be consignment. Let's just do this. The stuff gets in, and boom, it's gone.
Jeez.
And so now here we are a couple years later. It's not consignment anymore. We're happy to buy it because it just sells so fast, and it's also ugly. But
Is this the company?
Yeah, that's the
company.
one.
yeah.
I've got a
This up.
couple of them, and I'm like, oh, okay. A question for you, Mur, about that, because like we're starting to see.
Those are something else.
Yeah,
no
Rolo-
kidding.
Oh,
The leopard print.
I would wear that one
Let
in
me
a
see which
heartbeat.
one.
I would wear that.
Oh,
No
that's-
problem.
Yeah,
Man,
like
yeah.
they're
I have
loud.
a shirt that's not far from that.
Yeah,
That's
there you go.
me
Maddie's
too.
gonna
That's
show
actually
everyone. Rolo golf.
right up my alley.
There you go.
You don't look like a wild. You're from Southern Alberta. Southern Alberta boys don't dress
some
like
days,
that.
Yeah, some days are like
They have some dialed back stuff too.
A little bit of dialed back
Okay,
stuff.
I have a question about the merch and apparel. Like now we've got Players, the Saskatchewan company that's doing merch. Now we're seeing some Alberta ones like Bird and Barley. Have you talked to those guys? Are they getting into pro shops and stuff too? How hard is it to bridge that gap?
It is tough
Yeah.
to get in. Like you almost have like what Jesse did with us.
Yeah.
If he would have said, "Here, just buy 50 shirts from me," the answer probably would have been no.
Right.
So to come in and do that consignment type of offering gets your foot in the door, because you're probably not going to say no to that. But
Yep.
you know, like with us at the ranch, as an example, like we don't buy a whole lot of brands. We have 2 or 3 brands that we know knock it out of the park every year. And so long as those brands are keeping things fresh and keeping things new, we stick with them. We have a massive partnership with Adidas, Travis Matthew. We do have everyone loves Travis
Yeah, it's
Matthew.
nice
but
stuff.
They're good-looking stuff.
Yeah, really good looking stuff. But there's a new company that we actually are trying this year called Johnny O. It's kind of like a California type of style, and I fell in love with it when I saw it online a couple of years ago. It took me a couple of years to convince Sean that we should try it, but they're available. They have a sales rep here in Alberta and across Canada now, and it's not cheap, but it is
sharp looking,
really good looking stuff, and,
Nice.
It's rather
I'm excited
classic.
for it.
You know what's
in a way.
interesting about golf gear now? Like you look at it and you're like, hey, that's not bad. Whereas, 15, 20, 30 years ago, if someone was dressed for golf, you're like, oh, this guy's golfing. You can't wear that out. Like, it just, you look like a golf. Now it's kind of more casual. And like males and females, like when you go golfing, it looks to me, Murray, and you could confirm or deny if this is true or not, but we're seeing way more female golfers. We're seeing younger golfers. And it seems like the stuffiness and the, rigid to by the book kind of mentality is starting to dissipate a little bit around golf. I like it. It seems like it's
agree.
opened the door to more fun. Is that kind of where it's going?
Yes, and I feel COVID did that.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it introduced so many more people to the game, because there was really nothing else you could do outside. Anyway, you could go for a walk, but any activity you couldn't do it. And so so many people were getting introduced to the game, and if you didn't make them feel welcome and whatnot, then they maybe wouldn't have stayed in the game, and so the dress codes have really backed off. I mean, hoodies now, like we sell a lot of hoodies.
I love golf hoodies now, like going in a hoodie.
Absolutely. I wear them a lot. And like you said, it's crossover pieces. Pieces you can wear at a golf course. So, on the weekend, this weekend, it was a little chillier, and I wore a T-shirt with a Adidas hoodie over top of it, which I would wear on a golf course on a cooler day. And now I'm wearing it on a weekend with jeans as a casual look. And so those pieces that can really cross over for both men and women are becoming more and more popular. And even you can see a nicer golf shirt that you can buy. You see guys wearing a sport coat over top of it, and going out to a fancier restaurant or something like that. And so I think in the office world, it's becoming a little more casual as well, where something like that maybe wouldn't have been acceptable. That shirt and tie and that stuffiness has kind of gone down in the office world too. So,
What got you into golf? 'Cause that's pre-COVID that you would have.
Yeah. My stepdad, he growing up, he was always golfing quite a bit, and there was what video game? Hot Shots Golf on the PlayStation. I grew up.
I remember
playing
Hot
that.
Shots Golf.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So it was a lot of fun. So I was very young, but then finally, it wasn't until COVID when I got my first season pass. Yeah. And me and my buddies, we were just like, hey guys, like there's nothing we can do. Like we lived like 5 minutes away from a golf course. Like, so every day we'd go to the golf course, and we kind of just fell in love with it. And we'd go all day, every day. And it was, regardless of if we were good or not, we still, we'd have a few brewskis, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that definitely sparked it. And I mean, it's, you know, now being in Edmonton, just going to a few more courses, it's a lot of fun still. And I just love it. It's so much fun. Just going back to what Murray said, even, you know, just being out, you know, I resonate with that because I like to fish back home. And, you know, when I fish, I'm just by myself, and, you know, it's just quiet. You can just hear the birds are chirping, you know, it's peaceful, right? So I like that aspect of it too.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
absolutely.
The best golf video game, though, still is Mario Golf. For the
Like the
N64.
original. Oh,
N64, baby.
Okay.
Never played that one.
That is the best golf
I'd
game.
have to
There's
play it.
none better.
I don't know. Hot
You've
Shots
never
Golf.
played it?
No, Hot Shots Golf.
Did you ever play an N64?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did play, but it's been years, obviously. But
Mario Golf is the way to go.
Yeah.
we'll have to bring that in.
Yoshi's got a nice straight shot. A little short, though. Toad's got a pretty good shot. Princess wasn't bad. Bowser had
I
a
was gonna say, what
big draw.
Bowser have?
It was a full draw, but he could power and he could bomb that ball. Wonderful game.
You're speaking
Best.
Chinese to me. I have no idea what
Oh,
you're
we're gonna get you playing that one day, Murray. You're gonna fall in love
When we get our
with Mario
arcade
Golf.
machine.
Well, Kevin, who's part of Dusty's Fantasy Football League in the
Yeah.
CFL, he just dropped off a Nintendo, an old school Nintendo with Tecmo Bowl.
Is
for
that
us.
what that was?
That's what that
oh
was.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
You guys
Drop.
get all these gifts dropped off
It's
here.
weird.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we appreciate
That's
it.
weird, but we love it.
We got
Keep
the
'em coming.
Joe Montano ball from
Yes,
you.
you do.
We have to
Gager
put that
helmet.
in
Chad
like a-
gave us.
Yeah, we need.
Yeah, we got to get it.
Put that in a nice case.
Yeah.
He keeps wanting to play with it.
Yeah, I know.
Don't
like,
play with it.
Yeah, no. I'm like, every time it's just so tempting. I'm like, look at this. Like, look at
Well, we
this.
can
This
get
is
you
so
another
cool.
football.
Well, I have one I got to bring
Yeah, I
in.
know.
Yeah.
I have
we were talking about
because
that.
I still
Just bring it in.
I have the football JMO brought to 1260. It was he didn't want it anymore. His last game with at the time Eskimos,
Yeah.
they gave him the game ball.
That's awesome.
So he brought that ball in for us, and then we actually had Jason Moss sign it when he became the Elks head coach. He came in to do an interview with JMO, so we signed it. But then that's faded away. But I still have that football, which I need to bring in so you can play
Yeah.
around with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
football.
So that football, when we were all back with TSN, in commercial breaks, me and Jeff Walker was passing the ball in that hallway
Nice.
leading into the studio. We'd all do. That's what we do in the commercial
Yes.
breaks.
Because before we had the basketball net set up there. We had a little basketball net.
Where
And
Dusty
that
blew
then
out his
ultimately
knee.
Dusty blew out his knee, and then from there it kind of
Serious?
stopped.
He
got
blew
workers'
out his
comp.
knee.
Have you never seen this?
Oh boy.
No,
I never heard this.
I don't think I could do this. Like, I'm wondering how easy I could do this to show
Playing
people on.
basketball.
I don't know how I'll do it, but
See if he can get it. But
it's out there. We did a slam dunk contest. I think it was our second edition of the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
Which Lucas Whale and the Wolf won. He's the reigning defending champ. But we did a full thing in the hallway, like that whole hallway
Yes.
leading up. That's where we had a little basketball net on the door playing. And Dusty goes up, and as he comes down, the full video, because we're filming it, you could see his leg knee just buckle, and he goes down. And you just comes in laughing. He's like, oh, he's really hurt, guys.
I should be
And
laughing.
Dusty got full. Well, we laughed. Don't worry.
Okay,
Hey, laugh
okay,
all you want. He's fine. He's good. And then he had to do full workers'
Just a big boy
comp and all
falling.
that stuff.
Did
And,
you get workers' comp when that's what you're doing at work?
What happened?
I
I was
don't
playing
know.
basketball.
but we had an HR rep that told him to, and it led to him having to do that.
Wow.
So there is footage of this.
There,
oh yeah.
I don't know if the full video is on YouTube.
How long
Anymore?
ago was this?
This is like 8
That needs
years
to be on
ago.
the Hangout
It's
intro
been a
before.
1260 slam dunk. I'm gonna see if I can get it on YouTube. I don't think I can get it up on our stream live right now because I don't have. Yeah, okay. 2014 slam dunk.
found
Is
it?
this the one? Well, I don't know if this is the one that he got hurt. I gotta take a
I feel
look
like
here.
it probably
Oh,
was.
poor Dusty.
Oh, that
Did he
looks
have,
like it
did
might
he
be
have
the
like
one.
the
He means
Jackie
well.
Moon look going? Remember he had the big hair for a while?
Yeah.
Where is it? Because I'm gonna have to. I'll show you guys it.
I'll read this text from
Yes.
SJ in the Kootenays, or SJ not in the Kootenays now, 780-218-9999 if you want to get in on the chat. I would love to walk more, but so few courses are designed for it. 3 miles from green to tee box.
Yeah, those are the only courses that I won't walk. Is the courses that are like that. And
Yeah.
you know, like at the ranch, we're actually a power court only facility. We have the GPS on the carts and that type of thing. So I'm one of the very few people that do walk at the course because the rate includes the cart. So I get his point that it's not always the thing to do because generally being on a power cart makes us pace of play a little
Yeah.
faster and things like
business.
that. So
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, but so he definitely makes a valid point.
Yeah, no, I understand that totally. This
Should
one.
I try getting it? Because I found
Yeah,
it.
try to get it.
Okay, I'm gonna be up to the computer, Tommy. It's take over a little bit.
All good, all good. Kenworth Kelly says, "Man, that YouTube Trev is looking handsome today. YouTube Trev is rocking his Adidas gear, looking
Thanks,
good,
guys.
kid." That's
Thanks.
from Kenworth Kelly.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Excuse me.
Keep the comments coming, guys.
Yeah, and then this one says, if it loads, I love playing Hot Shots golf when I was younger. I still have the game and the PS2 console, and I play it occasionally. I remember the original for PlayStation 1. It was like the old, I don't know how many video games golf.
Yeah,
you
there's
played.
lots. I'm not a gamer, so
Right.
probably
So-
zero.
So the Hot Shots golf, if I recall correctly, you had like little anime characters basically.
Yeah, there's T-Bone was my favorite player.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
And it was one of those ones where it was like you start the swing, tap for power, and then the third tap is for accuracy.
Exactly.
Right? And you had the sliding, like the old school style, and then you could chirp people with like the buttons as they were trying to play. It was good. It was a neat little Hot Shots golf was neat, but yeah, it wasn't a simulation. It wasn't like Tiger Woods golf or PGA Tour or anything like that.
It was pretty. Oh man, it takes me back to simpler times for sure. But I remember coming home after school and just playing Hot Shots golf like every day. It was the greatest.
It was fun, but then EA Sports made
they started coming out
their PGA with Tiger Woods, and that became like
that was
the
definitely
standard.
a lot more for sure.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know how well you guys will be able to see
All
this.
right, I see you
eventually.
got it all set
I
up.
could put it up on this video for you guys to watch too.
I remember it. I
but-
remember it
okay.
vividly.
You got that up so quick.
Okay. Okay. Our levels are still there.
Good for you, Maddie.
So there's Dusty. Oh, is this?
That's
okay.
Dusty?
I just want to make sure this starts working. I've never done this on the Hangout. On the Hangout Live. Oh yeah, this is gonna work. So here's Dusty slam dunk. I think we did a little bit of a replay here, and then this is you coming up and he's going. I don't know if we can hear that or not.
Bray's giving him a 9.
Oh,
Yeah, Bray just gives him 9, and he's just down.
oh, look how young he looks.
No.
I told you he had the Jackie Moon going.
Come on, did we show a replay, or do I gotta go back?
Oh, I think
He's just
could you
mad.
read lips there? I think he said a bad word.
He said fudge.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, there's the
Look at that.
replay. It
Look
just
at that.
goes down.
Oh my!
And I got a 9 on that
Oh,
one.
that would've been he went through the door. I love that.
Hopefully that went through on the
that played.
on the stream. Hopefully everyone saw that there.
I love how we're figuring these little things out. Soon we're gonna get different angles on camera, right? Or is that gone?
Well, we want to do that, but I also want to have the ability, like, long term, have an actual producer on the show, not me with a mouse sitting here.
You're doing great.
So that we can go like, hey, let's show up that video, and they could cut it up, and we could just go to it and have a better monitor for us. So this is all going to evolve.
In time.
The show's not there, but yeah, I can't believe you never heard that one.
No, I
like,
did not
like
hear
you
that
obviously
one.
wouldn't know that one.
Yeah, no.
I'm surprised you
That's a
didn't hear that
classic.
one.
No,
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
that one.
that's in the
Surveyor
archives.
Brett often tweets gifs of that one.
Yeah, that's a gift for sure.
That one he posts out there a lot, so it's really well known. That was wait, I had it up here too. That was
that's
the
money.
2014 TSN 1260 dunk contest.
14, so 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Fergie's prostate says YouTube Trev is really chatty today. If you ask him what time it is, he'll tell you how to build a watch. Fergie's prostate. Good morning, Fergie.
Good morning.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, Lieutenant Eric in the nasty chat saying, anyone rock the Microsoft Golf for Windows 95?
Yes.
98? Yes, I did.
Yes.
That one was like one of the first games I had on a like 90. Do
you remember that one,
95 or did
No,
95?
I didn't play. I
You're
remember
too young.
playing.
I was born then, so I
Wii
don't
bowling and Wii Dance Revolution or something.
'Kay.
That's about.
Yeah, you
that's
played
all I-
those are
Dance
fun.
Revolution?
Well, that was
He's a
fun.
dancer.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to see you playing Dance Revolution.
You said
I-
Wii bowling, Mer?
Wii bowling, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like this was a long time ago. I haven't played a video
2000,
game in a
2008, I
bazillion
think,
years.
is when I was hitting the Wii bowling pretty hard.
I was
was
good
fun.
at Wii bowling.
And the tennis was good too.
all
and
you
the
had
home
to, I was
run,
master every
the
time.
home run
Just
challenge. Yeah,
all you had to do
derby.
is this.
I was bad at the baseball.
Yeah, that's not very
Oh,
much
boy,
fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't good. The bowling I was good at.
Yeah, the bowling.
Wii
Straight
Sports.
up was actually
Straight
good at
up.
that
Are you good
one
at
for
real bowling or just?
I'm average, like a little better. Like I'm not terrible at it.
Yeah.
I would say if we went bowling right now, I could break 200 maybe.
Yeah.
5 or
that's
10
solid.
pin?
5-pin.
5 pin.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
more
that's
impressive.
good
I
for
think.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to play
That's the
for
one. The big ball.
Oh, that's 10 pin.
That's 10
Five,
pin.
five pin
I was
is
thinking-
like a Canadian thing.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. I was.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. 10 pin.
200 on 10 pins, phenomenal.
I think I
Yeah.
could like get close.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I think if I had to put an average, I'd probably be closer to 150.
Because I was going to say, if you're going to say 200 at 5 pin, I was going to say, let's go play for some money.
Yeah. That's good content.
Is it high scores? Is it higher?
200 is pretty good.
Is
but
it?
I'm probably a better 5 pin bowler than golfer.
Really?
Yeah.
I like
Wow.
5-pin. I feel like I
That's
just want to throw the
impressive.
ball too hard because it's so small.
Yeah,
and I
for sure.
lose all accuracy on it.
Yes. I know I haven't done it for a while, but it'd probably take me an hour of practice and I could get good again. I got my own shoes. I got my own balls.
Do you have gloves?
No, that's for 10 pin.
They don't do gloves even in 5.
No, I don't need it.
Well, we'll have to. We'll get this going.
Yeah,
we'll get this
I
going.
suck at 10 pin though. I mean, I can hit the middle, but you need
interesting.
certain spin.
Yeah, you have
need
to
a little
spin
bit of
it.
the
You have
be
to
able to
spin it on the
explode
10
the-
pin.
the pins, and so,
super
yeah.
impressive.
Something happened with the audio when you played that video.
What did it play? It should have played.
Yeah. Rob from LA wrote, "My ears!"
Oh, okay. So that was a little too loud.
Exclamation.
Sorry.
Surveyor Brett wrote something about the audio. Iwanyk says, "Wow, did that mess up the audio?" And then I like
makes
this.
sense.
Van Owen says, "Microsoft Lynx 2003 for PC was fabulous and had numerous open license add-on courses that were very well done for the most part." Van Owen. Thank you, Van Owen. Anyway, so
For the audio, I think I know what the issue is. I didn't deselect the audio so the YouTube played, and there's no way I could mix that knowing what the mix was. So apologies to everyone on that part.
there we go. Sorry.
But for all those that are on YouTube, at least you got to watch the video and see Dusty go down.
Yeah,
that was the key.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that was fun.
Yeah.
I did like that.
We actually want to bring back the slam dunk contest here. So we
that'd
got
be cool.
we got open
Dusty
space.
needs to sit it out though.
yeah.
Dusty's
Well,
the judge.
He's
a
also
judge for this one.
in charge of all of this. So I don't know if he's going to want us to do that where someone
be
could
some
potentially
PTSD.
get hurt.
Workers'
It's on him
comp,
now.
workers' comp.
It's all on him now.
That's
It's not
right.
on a bigger
Yeah.
company. So
Yeah. Matt Iwanyk, workers' comp. That would be a problem.
Oh, can I ask one more golf question?
Go for
I know
it.
we're probably going to transition to something else eventually here,
No.
but so say you wanted to go for a Sunday round, if you will, because it's the weather sucks and you want to swing the clubs, and you go to One Putt, our good friends, and play the TrackMan. How do you value and gauge around on a sim like that? Like, what is it good for? Keeping your swing just
you don't go, do you?
loose?
Yeah, I hate it.
But you're a pro.
Yeah, I hate it because of the short game stuff.
Okay.
The putting it's so ridiculous that I just can't stand it. But the technology is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I would rather just go sit on the driving range on one of those and hit my shots and it telling me how far I hit it, where did it go,
Spin, all that. Yeah.
kind of stuff. I would rather just do that and work on my game that way than
Then playing
play.
around, yeah.
Yeah, like if you had it on like 20-foot gimmies or something, so you didn't have to worry about that, and you just hit some shots, that'd be might be a little more fun in my eyes. But it's just the short game stuff's just so unrealistic. But the long game stuff is extremely realistic. So
Okay.
Gimmies have to be set up 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to set up a good range.
Yeah.
Because if you get within 7 feet, let's say, and you got to putt that, it's so hard to judge. They tell you generally like it's this distance to the wall.
Right.
yeah,
But it doesn't register that well that it's
No.
you need the gimmies. I would say I think when I did it, we did about 6 feet. I'd almost go 10 feet.
Yeah, I think that's what we
Just
had
because
set
it's
up.
so hard. Like it is very hard for it to judge your putt, and you're gonna just miss your putts.
So Murray would spend 4 hours at one putt just on the range.
yeah. Well, we have it was just getting set up yesterday. We have one simulator at the ranch for the
Oh.
TaylorMade Performance Center.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I do that a lot during the winter. Is just go and practice.
Keeps your
use my speed sticks to work on the golf muscle strength to
Right.
be able to generate more club head speed, and then practice a little bit on the driving range on it. But yeah, I got no interest in actually playing a game.
Now, granted, again, Murray is a pro golfer.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone into a sim?
Yeah, did it once back home, but it was kind of the same thing. The putting, I'm just like, I don't know what this is. It's
So
pretty, yeah,
frustrating.
it's pretty, and yeah. So I didn't mind it though. Like I thought it was fun.
It is a good time.
Yeah,
I
it
enjoy
is.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
in the wintertime, it's not that bad. So,
Yeah.
but it's just like, what
If you
am I
have-
doing here?
If you can't go golfing for real,
Yeah.
why not go spend a couple of hours at a sim at the very least?
Yeah,
and
hanging
go
out with
visit
your
one
buddies
pub?
or whatever.
Absolutely,
Sure.
Yeah,
you
like,
know,
yeah, it
and-
kills.
Yeah.
It's fun.
it's
Just don't make me putt.
Yeah.
or if it's just got to be a long putt.
Yeah.
Just get it within the gimme zone and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Just don't put it past the gimme. And
I've
I was
done
always
that.
afraid. Oh, me too.
I've done that.
You try to just get it in the zone and then it goes rolls past. Like, I still got a putt. Or like if you have it at 6 feet and it goes to like 6.2 feet, you're like, damn it, I got a putt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try one putt and see what they're
They have
like,
a very
'cause
nice setup.
Look, have you gone in?
No,
Or have you
but
seen the
I've
pics?
been looking
Yeah.
at all the pictures, and
Yeah, we're gonna have to
and we're
go.
talking with
Where is
them.
it? I haven't heard of it.
North side.
Yeah, 168th Ave, I believe.
So it's by like Hollick Canyon or whatever.
Yeah.
Just west of that. At the very like right off the Henday
Yeah.
on what is that, 66th Street? I think it is.
Yeah, just off of off of 82nd, I
Is
think.
it 82nd?
Yeah, yeah, it's in a new area.
Yeah.
but it looks like nice, spacious. They have what
Looks
do they have, the
beautiful
6
inside
bays.
based on the pictures.
Yeah.
They're trying to like even they write it on their website. They're trying to bring a little bit of the sim golf world with Top Golf. So it's more open too. So you like when you go to a lot of the sim places, you go in a room
And it's
you-
tight.
and you close it and it's
Yeah.
just you in there.
Yeah.
Whereas here, based off the pictures, it's an open area, just like Top Golf. When you're, have you ever done Top Golf?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
it's so much
Yeah,
fun.
I would love to try it.
It
for
is so
sure,
much
yeah.
fun.
It's have you ever gone to Top
Yeah,
Golf?
no, that's
Yeah,
something I've wanted to
We
do.
we took my dad and uncle. We did our Gazzola Boys golf trip. This was 2019, and so we were playing our usual rounds, and then we're like, "Okay, guys, we're taking the day off of golf. We're going out to Scottsdale, and we're taking you to Top Golf." And my dad's like, "Do I need my clubs?" I'm like, "No, just leave everything. Just we're gonna go have a good time. We're gonna have some beers. It's gonna be good." So we get out there. And my dad's like, "We only have an hour." I'm like, "It's okay. We'll buy another hour." And my brother's ordering like pitchers of beer, platters, and my dad's like watching the clock. He's like, "Guys, we only have like 10 more minutes left." And then he goes and hits, and he's like, "Guys, hurry up!" And I'm like, "I just bought another hour. Relax." He's like, "Why'd you do that?" Because
Oh
we're
my
having fun.
goodness.
And the best part, Murray, because like this was, it's very, it's like sensory overload at times if you don't know, because they have the music going, there's the bar, they have an arcade, they have a dance floor, and they have all, and then they've got the levels of the Top Golf, and the holes light up and the targets and all
Going
that.
at night is a great time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
that would be so sweet.
and then so my dad's up again and he's about to swing, and then like everything goes pitch dark and the music stops, and he turns around and he looks at us. He's like, "The power went out," and I was just like, "Just give it a second." And then like one target starts lighting up, and then the beat's going with it. It's like boom.
Oh wow!
And then like another target is like boom,
Yeah,
boom,
just going
and
to
the
the
beat
music.
starts going, and then it just drops, and it just everything lights up, and the music goes. He's like, "Oh my god, what the heck just happened? I thought the power went out." I'm like, "You're still up."
Where nightclub meets
Yeah.
golf.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
much.
There were
And
people,
it's-
So cool.
people on dates. People. We were there for a birthday party. Like it was amazing. And then if you go to the one in Vegas, if you want to go to a pool, it's a free pool there.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Golf Society, they've done it once. They did it on Canada Day at Vic. They kind of tried having that little vibe. They brought out some loungers and stuff, and I think they've tried doing it or wanting to do it again. Calgary has Launchpad
Yeah.
in 2 locations, so hopefully that.
Edmonton's getting a launch
Yeah,
pad
I know
as
you
well.
mentioned that at a
Just,
VIP golf show at one point.
Yeah, it's coming. They haven't officially announced it, but it's coming.
It's
Cool.
like we're Edmonton. Obviously, we're not going to always get fully to the Top Golf. I think
Oh,
there's always
that
going
would
to
be
be some
amazing.
limitations.
Yeah.
But I know Launchpad in Calgary, they will go to minus 20. I think they'll stay open.
Wow.
I think they can with the way the bays are and the heater and all that. I think when I was there a couple summers ago, I thought they said minus 20. If it's not minus 20, it's like minus 15. So they could stay open for a long time.
Crisp,
And
yeah.
I think people would really enjoy that
Just
once that comes here to Edmonton.
That's cold though.
jackets.
But you don't feel it.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I don't think you'd feel as much with the way that they'll have it set up with the heaters or
Yeah,
something.
Right.
So
you'll be
like you
feeling
might have
good.
to have a little jacket on, but I don't think you'll have to have your full park on, right?
Yeah, I
that'd be
hope
so
not.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, one putt, 68th Street,
Yes.
178th Ave, Northeast Edmonton. Proud sponsors of the Oil Stream, live right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Maria McCourt, YouTube Trev, Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanyk with you here on the EST Hangout, live on YouTube as well as EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Later tonight, we do have an Oil Stream pregame show as well as a postgame show. Tom Gazzola, you'll be at the Boston Pizza Capilano. So will Dusty. So will a few of us from Edmonton Sports Talk. Trev will be back here running it all, watching it all, making sure we're on the air.
Let's go,
as the
baby.
Oilers are in Minnesota to take on the Wild. 5:30 is the start time for the pregame show, where Tommy will get you set. Who's on with you tonight? Do you know?
Belzy will be on location. I haven't heard
On
back
location?
from Gager. Yeah, Belzy's coming. Dusty will be there. Gager, if you're listening, text me back. I don't know what I did to
Come on,
deserve
Gager.
this.
So that's all coming up today as the Oilers, they're in Minnesota to take on the Wild. You think they could do it tonight, the Oilers? They can do it without McDavid?
You know what? I've been seeing like, a lot of tweets and a lot of stuff like just this is the worst case scenario, but like as opposed to what? They're already down, like it could be a blessing in disguise. I was saying it yesterday. Who knows? This really could, wake up the team. It's going to be I'm really curious to see how everyone steps up. The Oilers are going to need quite a few players to step up, but from my whole childhood watching the Oilers play the Minnesota Wild, it's always kind of been a snooze fest. So it's that's the only thing. They've never been able to seem to score against Minnesota throughout my whole childhood. So I don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see for sure. Vander Kane's going to have to step up. Dylan Holloway, I think he's going to be able to get some more time. I'm curious to see how that's going to pan out. Hyman's, obviously a lot of the guys, when McDavid goes out of the lineup pretty well, everyone's going to have to step up. So it's going to be interesting to see. And we'll have you all set at 5:30 for the pregame.
Now, I want to know why you're cheering for Minnesota tonight.
Yeah, I got their
You
colors
got
on
their
tonight.
colors on.
Yeah.
That's like bang
I didn't
on
wear my
Minnesota
Oilers
Wild
shoes either.
colors.
Yeah,
This is also the same guy that predicted Vancouver to win Game 1.
Yeah, I did.
Nailed
I did
it.
predict and I
Wow.
nailed it. Yeah, so no, I can't stand the Wild. Just because of every time growing up, it was just
Boring.
Yeah, it was
What's
just
the
boring.
Jacques
It's
Lemaire
boring.
Minnesota Wild?
Yeah, exactly. It's not entertaining hockey, but they got passionate fans, as passionate as they come. Like I love them when they make the playoffs. Yeah, like they know how to. Just the passion. It's all evident, right? So, but yeah, I mean Minnesota Wild. Yeah, I don't know.
It's there is always going to be that stink on the Wild for a while because of Jacques Lemaire's. Because
Yeah.
for all those years, however many years it was, that was a game you're watching and it was going to be 1-0.
Yeah,
And the
it's
massive
just-
trap Lemaire was going to
Yeah.
play, and it was just this is not going to be fun at all.
No.
Can we get past this? And that stink has stuck with that franchise their entire time.
You
For
called
sure.
it
Yeah,
stink.
That's
That's harsh.
I like it.
Well, that is a stink. Of being
Yeah.
boring hockey.
Yeah,
It is
that's
boring.
not
Their
fun.
their
Not
one
fun.
saving grace is like I'm a huge fan of Kirill Kaprizov. Like he's a stud, and he brings a lot of offense, a lot of energy, and that's something they've lacked for quite a few years. So don't mind him at all. He's a good player.
We could bring up the Blackhawks right away here, but have you
Yeah.
expected this start from the Oilers? Like,
Well,
have you been
last,
able to watch any of it?
last time I was on the show
Yeah.
with Gager, and you guys were saying, okay, Oilers are the top Stanley Cup contender. And I said, well, I'm not about to anoint them that because I think there's a lot of questions, right? So I said, like, one of the things was a lot of these young guys have to take a step. Has Broberg taken a step? Has Holloway taken a step? I mean, we talked about the depth score, the third and fourth lines. Are they good enough? Have they even scored a goal yet? I mean, there's
Team
been no
hasn't
step
scored a
up there.
third period goal yet.
Connor Brown, big question.
Yeah.
Everyone was all excited about Connor Brown. I'm like, well, really? Why are you so excited about Connor Brown? I mean, he needs to show
Yeah.
that he's what everyone thinks he can be. Has he done that? No.
No.
I question it. Is the goaltending going to be solid enough? So I asked all these questions to say this is why potentially maybe they're not the top Stanley Cup contender. It's still early. We're a small sample size. So after game 15 to 20, if we're pushing the quarter-way mark of the season and they're middling around 3 or 4 games under 500, then I think we have a problem. this time last year, I'd love to know what their record was at this time last year, because if you recall, Campbell was brought in to be the number 1 goalie, and he stunk, and they kept battling through that for a while. So I don't think in the first, say, quarter of the season they were that solid.
I think they had a mediocre first 10 last year.
Yeah.
It was still over 500, but barely. And then 2 years ago, what were they, 9-1 to start?
Yeah.
And then it
That's
just
a
kind of
good start.
tapered. Yeah, it was a good
What day
start.
is it today? The 24th.
Like, I think they are a contender. They're not playing like it, clearly, but there's been so much inconsistency in things that you highlighted that you were questioning going into the year.
Last year through 6 games, they were 3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's such a small sample size that the answers to these questions can still come. I mean, I don't think, like, Stu Skinner had a great year last year as a rookie. He maybe regressed a little bit in the playoffs for lots of reasons, but he's not going to be as bad all year as he's been playing right now. And Ekholm is still shaking off a little rust from not having a preseason. And is he fully healthy? I'm not 100%
Okay, that's
sure.
the concern then, I would say.
Yeah.
If he's not fully healthy, he's never going to get healthy this season.
Probably
You
not.
don't get healthy playing
He
hockey
has
as
looked
much.
better, though.
Yeah.
I would say.
But
Like,
so then maybe that leans more it's
progressively
rust.
better.
Yeah.
Then it's the
Yeah.
rust that he's
Let's
shaking
hope
off.
so.
But
Yeah.
if you're talking about the fact that he's had that hip flexor, or actually, we don't know what it is now, because what did they say afterwards?
He said groin.
Groin.
The team said hip flexor.
Okay, so there's an LBI issue.
LBI, yes.
If he's still feeling that, I think that's going to be all year.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully
if he doesn't get there, then that's going to hurt his game, which is going to hurt the team all year. So you hope that mostly it is the rust if he's getting better.
Skinner, by the way,
Yeah.
I thought had a really good game outside of that terrible gaff.
Yeah.
Like, he was making some big stops. Like, that
He
was a
looked
good
good.
performance
He
for him.
was
yeah.
going to be the player of the game if it
That's
wasn't
right.
if
We were
it wasn't
talking
for
about
that hiccup that he
And
had.
then the goal that Scheifele, that was a beautiful goal.
Yeah,
Smart
not
play
much-
to get Hyman and Draisaitl crossed up, and there was a lot there.
If that mistake doesn't happen with Skinner, is that the best goaltending performance this season from the Oilers?
Campbell in Nashville was really good, right?
Yeah.
40 ended up being 43 saves. They added a couple saves after the game.
Okay.
But that would have been
But
second,
the
second
mistake
best.
happened, though. I will say that.
And then
the
it just
mistake did
sewered
happen,
it.
and you can't
Yeah,
overlook
Sewers
that.
the rest
So
of the
it's-
game or the performance.
It was. So was it
was tough.
the mistake, or was it the wave that hurt this team?
Yeah, the wave.
Hey, we talked about
Yeah,
this
we
on
talked
the
about both of
post game
those.
show.
Yeah.
People are getting mad with the timing of the wave. Who is starting the wave?
Yeah.
And according to, I can't remember who texted it. I remember it might have been via the Nasty Chat post game the other night. It was probably, I'm paraphrasing here, it was probably some drunk idiot who has no idea about the game, having a good time, starting the wave to get to get the party going. And I laughed at that because I'm like,
That was
it makes sense.
yeah.
Who
I
in
get
here
it.
actually believes that that's a thing? That the wave.
I
hurts
don't
it?
know. Like,
Well, it can't.
Oiler fans.
Oh, it's like me with superstitions. They're not real. I know that, but
Now,
the stats also.
if you're the opposing team and the home crowd and you're in the game, you're down by 1 or it's tied, and you're seeing the wave obnoxiously started in the last 10 minutes, I'm not gonna lie to you, if I was in that game and I'm a player, I'm getting pissed off. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna shove it down these fans'
Yeah,
throat.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
even more
but the
motivated.
fans are having a good
let's-
time.
I don't care. I don't care. That's great. Now you just pissed me off.
they
So
like-
guess what? I'm gonna dig deep. I'm gonna score and send you guys home miserable. That's my mentality, at least.
If you are focused on the crowd when you're playing an NHL game and give a crap what they're doing, you need to focus more on the game.
But that makes you that's what I'm saying, Murray. It would make me focus even more on the game
Yeah,
because
I'd-
screw these people.
If I was like in the opposition's shoes, or
Yeah.
and I seen a wave, I'd be like, "Okay, like this motivates me. I want to shut these fans up."
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna ruin
there is-
your
there is
Saturday.
that. Yeah. Oh, you guys are having a fun time. Watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I don't know. I don't think I can get behind that, because then, like, when the team, whenever they cheer, when a TV timeout comes and they say make some noise, that should fire you up as the
That's
opposition.
generic though, and both
But so is
fans.
the wave. The wave is
yeah.
really generic. Everyone does the wave. It's not like a thing. I don't know if
I don't know, man. Like,
But if the-
I think there might be a little bit of substance to what some people are saying here. At first, I didn't believe it, but then I'm like, okay, why? Bad karma, or are you pissing off the other team? Is it a combination of both? Why do they happen to get scored on after these waves?
that's the part that bothers-
Like,
'cause
what's going on here?
I have my superstitions, and I could point to times where, like, look, something happens by me doing something stupid like closing a window.
Yeah, you're
But
very superstitious.
I know, but it doesn't make any sense that would have any impact. And that to me goes to the wave too, where I sit here and say that that doesn't impact this.
Logically, it should not impact,
It
right?
should, but you also look at the amount of times a wave happens, then bad things happen. You go,
It's
the
weird.
numbers are there.
Yeah.
Iwanyk, you're wearing purple socks. If the Oilers lose tonight, it's because you're wearing purple socks.
There you go.
See, but I don't believe that one. So it's not a big
Because that's not
because it didn't come from my mind.
it's not
I
one of his
know.
Wii teams.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's got it like. I have things with teams, and it's just naturally to me. I just think of it as I go. This is the reason. It just I can't.
Anyway,
But if the Oilers lose tonight, I'm going to think about the purple socks
But
now.
now,
Hurry.
but now that one's in my
And I'm
head.
going to say it's the purple
How
socks.
about quit making dumb errors in the D zone,
Yeah.
and maybe you're not going to lose the hockey.
that's a good point. That's a very good
How
point.
about yeah?
They might try that tonight.
Let's see if they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't Oilers fans all just go on the road and start the wave?
I think they do.
Well, didn't you say on the sports talk the other day that you thought Hustler where Dusty was that what it was? Someone
on the
Sports
morning show
Talk
yesterday,
was
we
saying-
blamed Huss.
Blame.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
That's
to
right.
start because he
That's
was in
right,
town,
yeah.
and I wouldn't be
He started.
surprised.
He
Yeah,
started
so
the
maybe
wave.
it's
It
the
was
Jets
spy
fans that
cell.
started
Yeah.
the wave.
He
Oiler
plugged it.
fans should band together and head to other rinks and start the wave just to give the Oilers some extra karma on the road.
There you go.
If it's a thing.
Oilers fans travel very well.
Do they?
They do.
Yes, they do. It's incredible.
For
And-
North American hockey standards, I would say.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So I could see Oilers fans at certain destinations having enough of a presence to start the wave. Maybe
be cool.
Maybe do the Andrew Hustler Patterson spy thing.
Yeah.
And get it
Going.
going in an opposition rink, wearing the other team's gear or something like that to motivate your team to score late in the game.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Maybe.
What are your thoughts at home?
RCN has chimed in, having his thoughts on it.
Oh, nice.
Says, as a Flames fan, this is something that's gone on down there too. The rule is no wave in a close game. If it's 8-3, have at her. That's from RCN.
Well, I agree with that too. I mean,
Yeah,
why
absolutely.
would you want to do the wave when it's a close hockey game? I want to watch the hockey game. I don't want
Yeah.
to.
No, that's
Yeah,
fair.
usually, I've always felt the wave was on board a little bit. Game, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
And then when it's a close game, well, I'm into this game.
Read the
I don't
room.
really want to watch the crowd. I'm like, oh, the wave's coming, the wave's
Right.
coming. Woo!
Yeah,
I
read
just
the
don't
room.
think it also impacts the game when it happens.
Right.
It seems
I don't
to.
know. It does. That's the
know.
weird part. Is it
Well,
does like when it
so-
happened, my mind went to it right away. It's like, why is the wave happening right
Yeah,
now?
we were-
But also, how does this impact the game?
So does a goaltender making a mistake. So does missing your back check, and so does making bad pinches. Darnell Nurse. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that impact the game.
This is true.
That's not a wave.
That's
Yeah.
true. I just it became a talking point the other night post game. A lot of people getting into it, and I just remember the one description of it's probably some drunk fan doesn't know anything about hockey, having a good time, doesn't read the room. And I'm like, that was a good nasty chat text.
Juno's probably the happiest with the wave conversation.
Tell me.
Stuart Skinner, because some of the attention
He's like,
completely was
that's,
off
yeah,
of him.
yeah, he's like, that's your fault for sure.
We're focused on the wave.
Yeah, guys, talk about the wave.
Yeah. I'm surprised the team didn't bring that one up in the
Yeah.
post-game scrum. Things were going great, and then the wave got going, and things just started unraveling at that moment.
Yeah. When Connor McDavid in a post game presser says, "Fans, quit doing the wave. It's annoying to us." Then maybe it's
could
a
you imagine?
conversation.
Maybe he needs to say that.
I'm glad we flushed this out, to be
Maybe
honest.
this
is something we need to talk
Maybe
about.
the Edmonton Oilers need to grab all the players and do like a PSA that runs before the game about how the wave hurts the team.
Please don't
And
do
we
the
could
wave.
fully develop something they do like,
Yeah.
please, not the wave.
Yeah.
We can have rules of when you do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That would be something.
You want to stick around, or are we going to go to Lieutenant Eric?
I should probably get some video stuff going, so I can probably tag out. That
Great
works?
job.
Yeah,
today,
go grab
YouTube Trev.
Lieutenant Eric then. We'll
Sweet.
like the swap live right here on
Thanks
the
for
Hangout.
watching, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Keep liking and subscribing, and Eric will be right in.
Look at
I
this
love
guy.
how he sells it all.
well,
Let's give him a
waited.
show.
It's like you after the oil stream.
Oh
at the
my
end of it.
goodness,
He's,
yeah.
he's been listening and following your lead with all of that.
Goodbye,
There's
Trev.
YouTube
See you
Trev
later.
here on the EST Hangout. Matt Iwanyk, Murray McCourt, Tom Gazzola with you here as well. Big day for us here at 1260, or not 1260.
What just
Big day
happened?
here. I always love 1260. I have
Yes.
no bad feelings when it comes to 1260. And
Well,
Edmonton
it's-
Sports Talk.
EST
I wanted to throw that out there to get that in there.
I know. Hello, Eric.
I wanted that in there.
Hello, Tom.
But we launched our store. The EST merch store is now, the pop-up store is now live at edmontonsportstalk.com, not tsn1260.ca, edmontonsportstalk.com. Go to the very top, EST shop. Our wonderful partners at the Hive Product Marketing, they helped us launch this pop-up store. It's pre-order until November 15th-ish, and then you'll get your products December 15th or earlier. But you can go to edmontonsportstalk.com, like I said, and check out the merch. We've got a couple of items. We've got a coffee mug, shirts, hoodies, champion sweatshirt, toque. So lots to choose from, different colors for you to purchase, and the ball cap that all of us are owners of. Right now, we're one of 12 owners.
12?
There's only 12 of
There was
these
only
so
12
far,
of
and
them
that's
made.
all they're out there. I gave the 12th one away yesterday.
Be on lookout for those knockoffs, though.
That's
With the 2Ds in Edmonton.
if, they're flooding the market
out
right
there,
now.
baby.
There's
We've seen
only
them.
12 originals. But yes, edmontonsportstalk.com. Thanks to our friends at the Hive Product Marketing helping us set up that pop-up shop. Products that bring the buzz, thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Hey, one thing on the shop, I'm looking at the toque because I really like it. Is it the one color? I'm trying to go on it right now.
There's two colors.
There's two colors? Okay, good.
Yeah, there's the yellow color and the black color.
Okay, because
If people consider black a color, some people
There might
don't.
not
It's
be
a
a
shade, isn't it?
shade. Yeah, is it a shade?
that's the one I'm going to get.
Which one?
The black one.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty nice.
I like the patch on
the
it.
patch on it. It's super nice.
Because Dusty got
Yeah,
a
real
toque.
nice.
He got a special one made
Yeah.
from earlier that he didn't know about, and they look sharp.
It's a modern look.
and it was an
Yeah,
immediate
that's-
one. Like, oh, we have to put that in the
It's
shop.
not a
immediately,
toque, though.
right?
It's a beanie.
Beanie. Yeah, 'cause it doesn't have the
Beanie.
pump.
What's the
That's a
difference?
modern term.
What's the difference?
That's more
Aye.
hip. It's in with the young kids.
Or if you're in the States, it's a knit cap.
Well, yeah, a knitted cap, but I think a beanie too is more of a tight fit to your
Yeah.
head, whereas a toque, I envision like the pom pom and
Yeah,
more of
yeah.
a tail.
Or this is a hoodie, unless you're from Saskatchewan, then it's a bunny,
Bunny hug or a
hug.
kangaroo, as that would make a lot of sense.
Oh,
The kangaroo,
bunny hug?
Kangaroo,
no
yeah.
kangaroo.
No, what was the other thing?
Bunny hug.
Bunny hug.
Never heard that.
And then milk chocolate
never-
is
You're
Vico.
not from
Never heard of bunny
Saskatchewan.
hug before?
No.
It's
Legit.
a
You're punking me
Saskatchewan.
now.
No, I legit don't recall hearing this.
But kangaroo makes the most sense if you're going to call it anything. It's kangaroo, it's pouch.
Yeah.
Well, it has to have the pouch though.
Yeah, it's gotta
because you
be
could get some hoodies without the pouch. If it doesn't have the pouch,
And
then
it
it's
can't
not
be
a
zipper
kangaroo.
because kangaroos don't zipper their skin on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Hey.
That doesn't happen.
Look
That
at
wouldn't
you
be good.
sporting Ook stuff. What up to
Yes,
our alumni?
the alma mater, Nate Athletics. Love them. Everything they do. Thank you for the great time there, Andy McIver.
Yep.
Sports department, athletics department. You did some stuff with Ooks. I'm sure both of you guys.
I actually never did.
Get out of here.
For real.
They
What
were
an
my,
opportunity.
They were my client at NR92. Like how we all got clients.
Yeah,
Nate
yeah.
Clients. They were my client.
Yeah, easy to
Yeah.
deal with.
Oh,
Good people
yeah,
to work
it was
with. Yeah, yeah.
wonderful. That was
Just a great
great.
relationship.
It was
Yeah, yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
At Nate, with the radio program, you had to learn sales and stuff. So you get a
Oh, well, that makes
client, a
sense.
Nate department that becomes your client to help run commercials for and all that stuff. And yeah, I had the athletic department.
You guys all went to Nate in the radio?
I took the
Different
TV.
years,
I
but-
took TV.
Yeah, your television arts.
Yeah.
You were the radio.
He was in the
arts.
hardware working one. Ours was fun.
It was a
wasn't hard.
blast.
You guys looked like you were having fun in
Always.
the radio department.
Always fun.
Yeah.
Too quick of a program, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, year and a half. Practicum.
In school, yeah.
Yeah.
Year and a half.
Did you learn slam dunk contests?
No, I mentioned this in the Hangout last week. I learned a lot about Mario Kart 64.
Oh.
We had that in the Jock Lounge, and that's all we played. And like, if you had an on-air shift, unless you were on air, like if you did a news shift on our radio station, you'd go and you just play Mario Kart until somebody would yell, "News coming up," and then you run over, you quickly read your news, then you go back, you start playing games again.
Or like Joseph Hartfeld and I did, you'd do the news sports shift, as it were, for a couple hours. Every time you had a break, you'd walk down the block to the Duck and have a beer and a
Oh,
shot.
did you?
And then you'd walk, and that was the game. And you
How
keep
many-
doing that on every break. So you'd do like 4 or 5 updates, and you'd go for 4 or 5 walks in like an hour and a half. And near the end, it was a pretty sloppy cast, I'll say that.
That was always the fun part of NR92 because you could really get away with stuff that like I would have never tried it like 1260 or something like that, you know?
Oh, no, you get that all
Like,
out of you. This is
get
college
all
show,
of
so
it,
you're like, all
and
right.
you just play around and you have a great
Yeah.
time.
Am I
with
not
it.
supposed
And
to show up
do
buzzed?
miss-
Oh, okay. Well,
and
I know
do
that
miss
now.
that part.
Eric, you are all. Last time I was on the Hangout with you, you were drinking on the.
Oh, I was. I did.
Yes, I was
guess
gonna
so.
bring a
But that
red
was
wine,
more
I
of a,
forgot that.
a sampling. What's this?
Was that a Friday?
Had to have been. If it wasn't, that would have been
Thursday, I
even
wanna
better.
say.
Was
Okay.
it a Thursday?
Okay.
Why would
Starting
you
early.
done it on a Thursday?
Well, you know,
Oh,
that's just casual setting
did we
around
have
here.
a
He had
hanky
a-
breaky that day?
That could have been
Maybe.
it. Could have been doing the old
With the two hoots.
Yeah, we found lots of reasons and excuses to have a beverage the odd time, but I'm not doing the old beer shot 5 times for an hour and then coming.
That's
to
a
the
lot.
show.
That's a lot.
It was
yeah.
fun though,
I believe it.
and that's when you do it. You exercise all that stuff out in college. It was
And
great.
it's right there too.
Anybody going to Nate for anything or any just get all that out of you and enjoy that time. It's always a race to kind of I got to get out of school and get in.
That was where I was a little bit.
No,
which is
like,
I
just-
want to get into the industry. I want to get working. But then you go, a couple times. I wish I did a little more.
mellow out in that nest.
Yeah.
Lack of a better term, but just kind of like
Great
have a
term.
good time in that setting because it goes by like that.
So, what percentage of your classmates are in radio?
Okay, I had 18 in radio that we graduated with. One, I think, just got back in. I have 2, 3. I'm one of 4.
And I think I'm one of 3.
Yeah, and in your radio or TV, how many
Radio,
are,
TV,
are in the industry?
One doing news in Winnipeg. I think she's still doing news there. And on the radio side, I think there's a couple still kicking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a few still on
So
the
maybe
TV
like
side
3.
that are still in.
Because we'd have about
Yeah.
10 to 15 per semester, right?
It was
Yeah.
supposed to be.
the.
Oh no, graduate with 12. It's 12 radio, 18 TV.
Oh, is that okay?
And
That's
then
what the
Ryan
class
Mai
is.
is a rock
That
star
seems
now.
right.
And he married Haley, and they were both in
Well,
TV
and a
with
lot of
me.
people, it's funny you asked the question because a lot of people just take that and go off to it's not like they're all, doing nothing.
Yeah.
But it does lead to careers that you would have never thought of attending the program.
One of the biggest careers that comes from radio TV is communications.
The dark
That
side.
leads to the comms jobs, and you get a lot of people that go to the comms.
Yeah.
Or went to Grant Mac and pursued it
Yeah.
and taken the communications
Yeah.
or whatever it was. But
That's a big one. What's
Man, it was
weird
a good
about
time.
internet or Nate, also like the radio and television program, because they have to oversee things. I think they still do, or unless they got rid of the program, they oversee the court writing typing
Really?
program, or they did. And Nate had a court typing program, and I think they might have. I think that may have ended.
Galenza was the dean.
And
Was he really?
Because
Yeah,
RT had to look over to he was the dean of this court typing program, but I think they might be gone. Maybe.
Like
that
the
would have been
stenographer.
something I wouldn't have mind taking a semester at either. Just for
to
fun.
see-
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
an interest base.
I couldn't come close to doing that.
typing is a very valued skill in this day and age.
Sure. And
Yeah.
especially if you can do the shorthand of the shorthand and
Well, and
just
also
kinda-
spelling. Like my spelling has gone
grammar
to
spelling.
crap since we've had autocorrect and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
mine's not
it's
particularly
not good.
Maybe another semester back at Nate for us. But it'd be great to go back and do that
Go do the
program once over
television
again.
program just so we could go back.
There were people
Unless,
that
because I don't
did
think
it,
they could
Nate.
do. Well,
Do
some
the
people
radio,
did
go
too.
back to
Yeah,
the TV.
actually, some people have done that. Do the 4 years there. Hit the radio side and then go do the TV side.
Actually,
Yeah,
unnecessary.
unless you want to go party for an extra couple of years.
After a year
That's just it.
after a year and a half, you're generally ready to go off on your own.
Yeah.
Like
If you've been paying attention
the
to
4-year
yeah.
programs are just a money grab. I think in our
You don't need
business.
4 years. And
No.
it's the on
There's
site
4-year
learning,
programs.
yeah,
Really?
yeah. In other
That's a complete
in other
waste.
parts of the country.
Yeah, that's a
but
complete waste.
complete waste of time. They're just milking you for money there.
Well, the fascinating thing that you guys said is I didn't realize this, that in the radio program, you guys are working on the Nate radio
Yeah.
station.
You're running a radio station.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, how it works, like third semester runs it. Second semesters do some things on it. First, that's a book semester.
Yeah.
There's no better way in the world to learn than actually doing it. And that's to Tommy's point. I mean, school, okay, you learn on the job so much more than you ever do in school, no matter what
Yeah.
you're doing.
And by post-secondary, you're pretty tired of probably sitting in a classroom. And we had to take that English elective with Howie.
Howie.
I mean, and he knew
Very
that it was a
thorough.
waste of time, and everybody kind of knew it was a waste of time. But if you wanted to get make it to a certain degree or a scholarship, whatever, like you would. But that stuff was kind of the throwaway. But it was the running of the radio station, and the cool thing with that in third semester is we all got a different job, and you would cycle through.
Each week you do
You'd have
something
to do
different.
sales, then you'd have to do this, and you have to do stuff that you're uncomfortable with. And
Perfect.
You had to be the PD 1 week.
it was great. I
You had to do a lot there.
had a blast. It was busy. It was a little stressful, but it didn't really mean anything because it was just like on a campus
But our
station,
stress
so.
was nothing like the TV stress because
No.
it'd be like 6 o'clock and we're done. We're off the clock, and they would be planning their shows, and they would be staying till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
cutting
Yeah,
stuff
we had
up.
a few of those.
You guys would work so many long hours, and then I'd be home on like Saturday getting ready
Bye.
to watch Nate News Watch, your whole recorded thing.
Yeah.
And then you'd have it on CTV2 or whatever it was on.
Yeah,
Or,
I think it was on Shaw
back
for a
in the
little while, then
day, or-
CTV2, and I
Yes,
remember,
it was CTV.
And I
Before
loved
that, it
watching
was
those.
NTV because, and then you guys
Yeah.
went to CTV2,
Yeah.
and then it's gone, and now it's just online.
which is fine. It was a big production, but then you quickly realize like all that stuff that we were sitting up till 2 a.m. getting ready is done in like half an hour in a real station, at a real station. You know, you get your first job placement. You're like, oh my God, I have to do a story and it has to be ready for the 6 o'clock news. And I only have an hour to do the interviews, get the B-roll, voice it, write it, and have it edited. And you're like, this would take me a day and a half in college.
And now you're on to the next day already.
And it
Like,
was,
not by
yeah.
then it's old news. And then you
Yeah.
got to start doing the other thing.
So
Next-
like the practical learning was the best part when you're actually there doing it. But I think at Nate they do get you ready really well for taking that next step.
Yeah.
Is there not a golf course like program in Alberta, like for the like maintenance of it or something?
Well, for maintenance, there is.
Yeah.
There used to be golf management programs as well at Lethbridge and at Grant Mac, but they don't exist anymore. All the education in the golf world is done directly through the PGA, so you literally
Really?
don't even need to go to school anymore to become a golf pro. You just go work at a golf course, do the education, online through the PGA, and
How long were those courses, do you recall? Or was it like a year or two or something?
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years is what they were. But that's what I did. I went to college in San Diego to the San Diego Golf Academy. At the time, it was the most prestigious golf management school in the world. But same thing as you, like these guys that went through these programs here, like in Canada. I mean, there's snow on the ground in the wintertime. My school was on a 27-hole golf course. We had a tournament in the school every Friday. So how you learned how to run a tournament was in the third semester. You were running the school tournament.
That's awesome.
Tournaments every Friday. People that were teaching me how to teach golf were people that were PGA Tour coaches or LPGA Tour coaches and things like that. So, I mean, the education that I got down there was phenomenal, and playing beach volleyball every weekend and going down
on
to,
your
going
days
down,
off.
San Diego's
going down to
wonderful.
Tijuana when I was 18 years old was a lot of
That's a
fun.
tough
And
college life
yeah,
there, yeah.
it was tough life.
What is a golf pro exactly? Like, what is the role of a golf pro? I've always wondered that.
I mean, it's evolved a lot. I mean, there's different teaching professionals. So you're just a teacher or a coach. A head professional is basically running the golf operations. You're running the pro shop. You're running your outside services team and managing the carts and the driving range and that type of thing. I'm an executive professional, so I'm responsible for the entire facility. So the food and beverage, the administration, the grounds, the pro shop. So all of those people that are in charge of those departments report to me. So there's a lot of different avenues now in golf that you can make a good career out of it. But like teaching is really a growing area of it where there's a lot of teaching pros in Alberta that do very well for themselves and are really growing the game and getting people playing better.
Do you have to be a good golfer fully to be a golf pro?
Yeah,
On the business side of it, do you have to be a full-on solid golfer, or is that more the teaching side? Or
To become a golf pro, you have to pass a playability test.
Okay.
Now, they've made that test much easier over time because it was a barrier of entry, and a lot of people that would have been great golf pros on the business side and that type of thing, they weren't good enough to pass the old standards, and so they've lessened the standards. Like typically now, you go shoot like 80 and on a certain day, then
you could get it?
you can become a pro. Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
I
Okay.
was wondering how that fully
Yeah.
works.
No, I
It's
never
never
had
had sense.
I wouldn't have to play another game of golf in my life, and I could be a golf pro the rest of my life. Now,
Why?
once you pass that playability test, there's not retesting.
Oh,
that
really?
ever
you're
has to
in.
happen. You're just in, so long as
Okay.
you're still working in
So
the
it's
industry.
kind of like
and
getting a
stuff.
driving or driver's license in a sense, because
Yeah,
you get it. And
yeah.
I don't think you ever really have to go again.
right.
Till
just-
you're old.
yeah.
Yeah, there
Right.
is something when you're a little bit older.
Yeah. When you're a lot
Just
older.
pay your dues to the association, and you
And
you
they're
keep
happy.
that card.
And they're
Here's
Yeah.
your card. Thanks for another great year.
Yeah.
Bones texts in. Does Olds College still have options, Murray?
Olds
Do you know?
College has a maintenance program.
Okay.
So if you want to be a superintendent, that's where you go. Fairview had one, but I don't think they do anymore. I think
Kind of a
it's just
1-2 year thing too, type
old.
of deal, or
And I tell you, like, You talk about legends and a hidden gem. Olds Golf Club, where that school is, and I don't know the exact details of it, but because of the school being there and all those people learning to become superintendents, that golf and they work somewhat with the golf course. I don't know exact details, but I'm telling you what, that golf course is unreal conditions wise. Like the greens there are so good.
Do you know what that sounds like? The Nate Retail Read Store.
Well, you get so many people learning and a few pros teaching them, and then you get the best of the best. Yeah.
I don't want to speak about that one too much.
Keep it under,
But
if you know, you know.
That's what that reminds me of. 780-218-9999, Parish Jewelers Inbox.
Got one from the inbox. Mike, the Michigan fan, says Olds College has the only turf management program in Alberta now. Fairview used to have it, but Nate shut that down in 2008 when they took over. That's from Mike, the Michigan fan.
You know the guy, we had him on at 1260 the one
Grant
time.
Canton.
That did Wimbledon.
He was the head
not go to his-
groundskeeper at Wimbledon. Now he's out at Cougar Creek.
Yeah.
And he's the assistant, and he's very content with it.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was at Wimbledon. He worked there for 20 years. Took the course management program here. Got an internship out there. Stayed, worked his way up, and he was in charge. He went and did he knows Federer and did private courts at people's like estates, and Federer would be like, hey, I've got this friend that's building his own court. Can you come and help and stay with them for a couple weeks? And he would set it up. He's at Cougar Creek now. Great guy. He's from
Probably
Stony
a few
Plain.
stories, if you.
the stories he had, both on and off the air
Yeah.
of his time at Wimbledon were incredible.
I bet.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, Matty. He's like, in Europe, they don't really care for memorabilia or like game use stuff. So he would go through like the locker areas and at the facility, and like Joker's shirt from the match in the final would be just sitting there.
Free for all,
shoes or
Federer stuff.
Yeah, he's got like the net from Federer's first Wimbledon win, and like they would just leave rackets. And to a lot of Europeans, he's like, they just look at it, it's just trash. Nobody wants that. But it's like, do you not understand what this is? So he collected a whole bunch of stuff.
You're set for life.
Yeah.
You're just walking around a locker room.
And if Grant's watching and listening, text me if I'm wrong on this. But I remember him telling me, he's like, yeah, I've got shoes, I've got rackets, I've got their match shirts, because they go through a bunch of them and they just leave them sitting around. And he's like, nobody was taking them. So I took them and documented what it was from, and that's it.
That'd be a fun industry to get into. I'm not going to lie. Like taking care of golf courses, like the grass or something, or Wimbledon or something. I think that would be.
There's got to be a satisfaction to it when everybody's, players are on it celebrating everything, but then you're just kind of in the going,
Or but when you take care of your own lawn, like it's nice.
Well,
When you build up a nice green lawn and you do it for yourself,
but
like
you people
cut it,
over,
all that,
everybody enjoys, and you're like, this is, I had a hand in this.
But now you get to do it on a bigger scale, where you're still outside, you're enjoying the nice stuff, and I don't know. I think it'd be great.
Well, I can tell you on the golf side, the superintendent is a thankless job because the golfers don't want to see you on the golf course.
No.
And so
when can you do your stuff?
When can you do your stuff? And then the expectations are so high, and then if they're not met, then that superintendent,
well, there's a pressure that you would put on yourself to have a good, and
if the product's not or if you have
can't fix it right
greens
away.
have to get aerated or they have to get top dressed or something like that, then the golfers are livid and the golf course was in terrible shape. Well, all they're doing is their job to make the golf course good. Yes, for a temporary little window
Short-term
of time,
pain a little bit.
For a long term, exactly.
you understand it. Yeah, you gotta,
So,
But not everyone understands.
oh
that.
no,
Like, and
understanding
that's-
is not a
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
But there's a peacefulness. I would think
It would be
from a
enjoyable.
10,000 yard view
Yeah.
out. I just kind of
Having a nice a golf course, I could imagine your superintendent's got to be pretty thrilled most years with what he's done. Like you go that the last few years, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And like to be able to look back and like, that's me. That'd be such a great feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Meat texts in via the inbox. I know Meat. I
Do you?
used to play slow pitch with him. Good friend. One of my favorite jobs of all time, maintenance crew at the Mayfair. LPGA 2008 Canadian Women's Championship was amazing. That was
Michelle
also
Wee, wasn't it?
Yeah, Michelle Wee.
That's how we played, yeah.
That was also one of my first ever paid television, volunteer television jobs. Sportsnet did the broadcast, and I volunteered through the NATE program to do audio. I sat on the 13th fairway by the bunker with a shotgun microphone with like the big fuzzy on it.
Yes.
And I would like get close and as they would swing, you'd get the and the contact. Michelle Wee off the tee almost smoked me. The ball, she put it into the bunker and the ball missed me by about 2 or 3 feet. And I was like, oh my God. And I think on the broadcast, they're like, oh, the audio guy almost got hit. And then so like I got great sound of her shot out of the bunker. But yeah, that was my first ever job. It was volunteering, and worked maintenance crew at the Mayfair for that event. So
I'd love to go behind the scenes of a golf broadcast.
it's a huge operation.
Like seeing how they're following along on the course and how close, and like just watching it all. I would love to go behind the scenes of a golf broadcast and see how they get it all done.
It was pretty neat. It was chaos too, because like so much is going on at once, and
yeah.
you're trying to focus in and
Communication and how do you know what shot to go to and all that when it's all happening at once.
Yeah,
That would not
exactly,
be
all
easy.
at once. Yeah. It's tailor made on the TV. You're kind of watching individual, but
Yeah.
it's all going on, and I don't know. Like it's no offense, but a slower sport. But as you guys said, to cover it, that's probably a lot of chaos behind the scenes to kind
Well,
of.
especially like at the mid part of round when everyone's on the course. Like it's hard to fully, like as you're coming down the stretch on the final rounds and you're following, you really only have to follow like the top few guys. Like you know who you're having to follow, and then there's the breaks in between, so only following a few of them. But you know,
No halftime,
Masters
no-
starting on the Sunday for the final rounds. I don't know how they could fit everything in and just go and jump, and then still fit in somewhat of your commercials. Masters isn't too many commercials, but NBC likes to show you commercials.
Well, and this is why, as Canadians, we always get so upset when a Canadian is in contention and,
And
they're
they
never
never show us.
showing them.
Yep.
Because they're
Americans
not a
don't care.
big enough name or whatever in America. Exactly.
That sucks.
So, yeah. So they can't cover everything. They cover what they think the majority of the people are going to be happy seeing.
ISO
And that's
cams.
not Canadian.
Choose your golfer, right? That's the future of golf
You know, that actually I'm
broadcasting.
surprised
Pick
that
on your
that's
golfer.
fully not
Boom, bam, and
their type thing. Like we have it in F1 where you can go into every car and stuff. Now you don't have a camera on every golfer at any time, but how do you not have like even a subscription where you could
tier them and
you
pay
could,
for
well,
it.
you could even pay for like 2 cameras per hole. I could watch the tee box of every hole. I could watch the green of every hole, and I'm going to click on, and that way you can almost follow your.
That's where
golfer
you wanna
because
be.
You can be
That's-
like, I'll
yeah,
watch
yeah.
their tee shot. I'll go and watch their bunker or their green shot and the putt and all that. And I don't know.
We get drones following each golfer.
Well, for a global sport too, I know
something.
the American audience is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a money
Maybe
maker.
there is a
but,
drone eventually that's following all 144 golfers or whatever that's out there.
Why
that's just
not?
behind
Or
them.
just the groupings.
And it's just behind, and you just watch the shot. Like maybe that's where we get to with drones.
That would be pretty cool.
I just don't know how noisy that many of them would be.
Yeah, probably would be nice.
Golfers might not like
They
that.
might not. Back in the day, though, when Tiger was at his best, like there was a lot of people that complained about all the attention that Tiger was getting on TV. I was one of those guys, like, I would have rather watched Tiger tie his golf shoes in the parking lot than
Anything.
watch some guy that I never heard of hit a shot. Like, they could have had Tiger Woods TV, and it would have been insanely popular back in that day.
We saw it when he went out of golfers, injuries, and all the other stuff that was going on. And then when he came back and how massive the TV numbers were fine when he left for a while. Like it was still good. People were watching golf. But then he came back and all of a sudden he's in contention at the Tour Championship or whatever. And boom, numbers shoot right back up.
Exactly.
And that just really proved the power of Tiger.
It's unbelievable.
You couldn't turn that away. And if they had mixed in other golfers during the run of Tiger, they probably would have saw numbers drop.
Yep, they would have. And like even at the golf course, when there's a golf tournament on the TV and Tiger Woods was hitting a shot, everyone that would be in the pro shop would stop doing it. They'd stop paying for whatever they were paying.
You'd blow the horn and people would come in for
Yeah,
it.
like everyone, okay, Tiger's shooting. Everyone would sit there and watch Tiger hit a shot. And then, okay, he hit a shot. Now life can carry on again.
Let's take this to hockey even a little bit. Who wouldn't want to pay for like a McDavid cam where you just watch McDavid all game? Leon, Bedard. Like, I'm sure there would be an audience for that of I can watch the game, but maybe I have a camera that's
Absolutely.
just on McDavid and I could watch him while he's sitting on the bench. I could see who he's talking to. And then when he comes out, it's just following McDavid and I could pay attention to what McDavid's doing out there.
Both for general fans and I think too the people who just want to understand the game a little more and follow.
Yeah, well-
the television broadcast football as well only captures a certain aspect of the.
But football's known for, in the NFL, the all-22 cam. Where
Yes,
they have a
and that's-
camera on every single
Yeah.
player, and you could go pay. I think they still do it. They used to do it, where you can go pay and you can go watch. Rob Pepper from
yeah. Oh,
Kiss.
he's probably-
big
yeah, yeah.
football guy. He bought that all
Of course
the
he
time.
does. Of course, yeah.
And you could go and you could I think they'd release it the Monday after the Sunday, and you could go watch the entire game, but pick which camera you wanted and follow any player. Like it was the all 22. The 22 cameras there, they were on one player on the field, and you could just go watch that. You could focus in on that one player and watch how they played.
There was a thing, I think Hockey Night in Canada did it about 10 years ago, and they put this camera on the bench. It looked like a big sphere, and you could log on, watch the broadcast online, and if you selected that camera, you could actually control what you watch.
Oh,
So if you wanted to watch a particular player, like you could literally follow that player. I don't think it lasted very
Seems
long.
ahead of its time.
Yeah,
for the-
and it
for
was
the
kind of
NHL.
clunky and
Yeah.
stuff. But I remember checking it out. I'm like, this is kind of cool. So I suppose that would have been a very early edition of something of that
The
sort.
idea
But
is
it didn't.
there, yeah.
It didn't last, and I'm sure it didn't cost, or it didn't come cheap for the broadcast to put a camera like that and incorporate it. Yeah.
I could be wrong with this. I think with the 4K or is it the 8K broadcasts, it is only just a select cameras.
Are we up to 8K now?
The 8K TVs are out there now and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I don't think anything's really being filmed much in it. Maybe it's just the 4Ks, but like
Okay.
you could take a camera and you could isolate it however you want because it's all connected to just a few minor cameras.
Yeah.
And they have that ability now, I think, to just zoom in on anything.
That's
That's why they have, I think, those like 5G Raptors broadcasts. If you go on TSN and you have the 5G app and all that, you could control the game as you watch it and move it around and all of that.
See, that's
So-
cool. That's awesome. That's
and
where
that
you
hasn't
get
really,
your
and
ISO
I don't think that has taken off yet because they do it for TSN, some regional games like Jets and Leafs regional games and stuff, and they'll do it for Raptors. But no one really talks about that broadcast.
No. Yeah, good point.
For football, I just like to see the secondary. Give me the
Like, you wanna
extended
watch
shot
'em?
of the secondary and how
Okay, now would you
receivers
want,
are.
do you want it from
snap
behind,
the ball and they.
facing the quarterback, or do you want it facing the?
At that
front?
point, that'd be more of I'd have to test both out. But just to see how routes are ran as
Yeah.
the play is developing, I think would open up a totally. Each sport is different. I think iso cams, basketball or hockey.
Yep.
I mean, you're looking at like a 5-on-5, and usually they're all in the play in the
Mm-hmm.
field of vision. But just to see how routes develop, and it's always
who messed up somewhere, or how
It
did they
kills
get
you
him?
when the ball snap, you know. And I love watching the line too. No offense to all the linemen out there, but you're watching that, and then guys will just run off the screen.
Yeah.
And some guy makes a big cut just going off it, and you're like, well, something's happening there, and the quarterback gets a little. And I always feel like you're missing like totally a big part, whether it's offense or defense. I mean, that's kind of where plays happen. But that would be, and you're right, either from an end zone point of view or just an extended sideline cam.
That's where I do like the QB shot sky cam. That the NFL's
Yes,
been doing a little
yeah.
bit more, where it's the shot right behind the quarterback.
Yeah, I
and they
don't mind
snap it,
that.
and you can watch the whole field from as if you're a quarterback. I do like that one.
Could watch the whole game like that, maybe. There might be a
it's
day
the
in
whole
time.
Madden. It's
there
the
might be
Madden camera.
Yes,
That's what it is.
and that will get there, I guess. But
I like that view.
yeah,
because you ever
Sky
tried
cam's
playing
awesome.
Madden with the regular, like
No,
side to
the
side, like you
broadcast
can't.
cam,
You
no,
just-
it's awful.
I want that in the power play in hockey. I
I
want
know.
the camera from the video board shooting towards the goalie.
Well, Edmonton
And you-
has that.
from blue line in,
Chicago
eh?
has that.
and you can watch, and that's all. It's almost all I want on the power play.
Yeah.
I want that view
Yep.
the whole 2
the whole
minutes.
time. Yeah.
Unless they leave the zone, then switch and then
Yeah.
come back and give me that view. And I want to see what the QB of the power play is looking
Yeah.
at.
There's two rinks that I can think of that has it. Edmonton has it. They have a sliding camera that
Yeah.
can move up and down, and then Chicago has it where it follows. It's stationary, but it can rotate and follow. Doesn't slide across the video.
Were they
board.
not doing a one behind the net, like the opposite?
Yeah,
not
I
the
don't
blue
like
line,
that
but-
one.
Yeah. Was that a league wide thing or a arena specific
Yeah.
or?
No, that's league wide.
Yeah.
I think it's a standard camera now for every broadcast. The
Yeah,
behind the
yeah,
net,
that's
up
right. Yeah,
top
yeah,
of the
yeah,
glass
yeah.
type
Yeah,
of
and
thing.
then it just shoots down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
it's a
rather
weird
the
one.
other angle where you're seeing
Blue
it from
line
the,
in, yeah.
Yeah, quarterback of the power play's perspective towards the net.
Yeah.
I wish we can get sky cams a little more in hockey.
They
But
tried. Remember they tried?
I
And they
think,
had
but
to
the
stay on
issue is the
side.
scoreboard.
Yeah.
And like you can't because it just sits there.
Yeah.
And it kind of blocks. Otherwise, it'd have to come too low or something. So I understand why that one can't be done.
Speaking of hockey, Big Dave texts in. Lines just dropped for tonight, fellas. Janmark is on the top line. WTF. Here we go. Our good.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Number one fan.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Yeah.
Let's go to our good friend, huge Edmonton sports talk fan, Bob Stauffer. Ready for this, Murray? Because
Oh
I
my
know
God.
you've been kind of chomping at the bit for this. Draisaitl with Kane and Janmark. Nugent Hopkins with
Oh, that wasn't a
Fogle
joke.
and Hyman. No joke.
Okay. Okay.
McLeod between Holloway and Brown. Ernie and Ryan. And then you've got Nurse paired up with CC, Ekholm with Bouchard, Kulak with Broberg / Desharnais, Jack Campbell, your starting netminder tonight for your Edmonton Oilers.
Okay.
Does Yanmark have pictures of the Woodcroft and a sheep or something? Like I don't get it.
I don't think anyone's going to have an answer for this.
I think he's a good bottom six guy. Let's leave him there. But I mean, the offense isn't necessarily there. So I don't know. Maybe Connor Brown isn't ready. It's just Holloway I would have given a shot to him.
Is there not a way to get Holloway up there? Like,
I would have thought so.
would you put...
Why Holloway though? He's skating around fast, but he's not getting anything done either.
It's going
When he
to
was
pop at
tough-
some
A
point.
chance
for
to
him.
give him
think
that
it will.
pop with
Yeah.
But
one
if,
more.
like, okay, I'll say this. If it's, I'm going to use Yanmark or Holloway or Brown, I'll use those three as I think the guys that you're looking at. Who has the best potential upside?
Holloway.
Well,
I would say it'd be
sure.
Holloway. So I would, at this point, why not see what he can do, throw him out there, and maybe it works, as opposed to playing Matthias Janmark on the second line last game and then going, oh, you want to know something? He deserves a
getting
bump
bumped
up
up.
even one more to the top line
So-
tonight.
So Holloway had that opportunity last year, and it didn't go well. So this is a year later. Maybe try it for a game or two and see, but I don't know.
The only thing I could see is why you don't put Holloway up there is that there's a lot of expectations right now with McDavid out. And maybe you're trying not to put too much pressure. As the savior that McDavid's not here, Holloway's up there. Oh, he's gonna do it. And if it doesn't go well, maybe that's the only
I
reason
hope
he won't
that's
go.
not the thought, though, because it shouldn't be, right? Like
He's just got to be. Everybody's got to just
They'd
do
be
their
themselves,
job.
yeah.
Yeah.
you're not center for center. Was Janmark Wild at one point in his career? Was he?
No, he never played for the Wild, but because he was Vegas, Chicago,
Come back home and play with
Dallas.
the top line.
I thought maybe that was. Well, I'm trying to get into the theories in the mind.
Detroit.
That would make me
Briefly,
so
yeah.
happy. Why is Matthias Janmark on the first line? He's making his return
We're gonna
to
give him-
Minnesota.
they're-
We want to
they're-
give him a shot.
They're
Now,
doing the thing on the screen.
The thing
He
in the
did play
thing.
for
For some reason, I have
Grand
this vision
Rapids
of him.
Griffins. Maybe that's
what it
close.
is.
Maybe
That was
that's
his
there's
Detroit
a big
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
team coming.
Now, just because that's what they're starting as, it doesn't mean that's what they're going to
totally.
be
That's a good
halfway
point.
through
No,
the first
yeah.
period either,
Yeah.
right? So they might rotate guys through there and see what catches a spark, and if something catches a spark, then roll it out. And
That's true.
Keep
It's
it
always
going,
in shoe
so-
polish. These lines and skates.
and it kind of needs to be in the scenario without McDavid, because you need to find somebody that's going to get that chemistry with Draisaitl. But-
Among the many wake-up calls this team has already had in this fresh early season, this is probably another one where now you do have to put in the work, because you can't look down the bench or on the ice and see the NHL's best player out there and rely on him. You have to go out and do it. But I feel in this scenario, with the players that they have right now on this roster, in their life cycle or stage, as Jay Woodcroft likes to call it, as a team, like, these are guys in the meat of their careers. You should be capable of stepping up and putting some of the burden on your own shoulders night in, night out. And they have the guys that can do it. Now it's a matter of actually executing on that.
And for Woodcroft too, no nuclear option now in the short term.
Yeah.
So there's nothing
Dude,
for
break
him
him in.
as a
You've got good
coach.
players.
You mentioned the players too, but for him as well, you can't just rely on that now
Yeah.
as a knee jerk. Oh, okay, we're just gonna do this and away we go, pair him up.
Yeah.
Now you have to be a little inventive too in the way you're deploying these guys, and as you mentioned, it'll probably be a generous kind of mix cycle through.
His nuclear option now is McLeod goes to maybe second line, and Nuge goes to the first line as a winger. And it's a two,
Is that-
two
is
line
that
team.
nuclear?
And now it's a two line team.
Style
Well, that's
option,
the
which is-
closest that
yeah,
he would have of.
Yeah.
He wants to. He'd go roll two
Not
lines and that's
nuclear
it.
though. I mean,
Not the not the full
the
nuclear.
get out of jail type of.
Well, I feel like they're going to change their game plan a little bit, though, while Connor's not there, because they don't have that guy on the bench that's going to go out and create stuff. They just need to work on their defensive game.
So button down team defense. That's a
Button-down
strength of this team, is it
defense.
not? Hey, that's
but they
if we've
need
seen.
to. They need to. Like the game tonight is what going to be a 3-2 game. Toss it up either way.
Yep.
They're going to
Probably.
need to take advantage of the power play. They're going to need to take advantage of the odd opportunity that is going to come their way on a 2-on-1 or something like that. But I think this is going to be a very defensive-minded game on both sides.
And if it's tight like that, again, limit those dumb mistakes that you've
And
seen
that's
off and on
what
from
needs
everybody.
to
in the
Dumb
lineup.
penalties, the
Up and
stick
down.
penalties.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Nobody's safe.
As Bob Stauffer said, when was the 22nd? 2 days ago. Last time McDavid missed time was during the 1920 season. Edmonton went 3-2-1. Draisaitl went 4 goals, 8 assists for 12 points.
Not bad.
So Draisaitl has shown that he can produce really well and carry this team a little bit when McDavid's not there. The one thing I will add, though, about that time, that was when he was with Nuge and Yamamoto, and that line was literally the best line in hockey for a stretch of like a few months.
Weeks. Yeah.
It was unbelievable what they would do when they were on the ice. Also, when they went 3-2-1, I think some of those losses came because Clefbaum then got hurt during that stretch, and the team really noticed a big absence without Oscar Clefbaum. But
Still do.
Oscar, yeah,
Good dude.
yeah,
Absolutely.
How that changed a lot of things.
Yes,
to them.
sure
Oilers.
did.
They had big plan. You know, him and Larson were supposed to kind of control things, and then
Also a good dude. Really,
Larson?
just 2 good dudes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't pan out.
No.
The Larson was always going to be a tough one to pan out
Ops. Yeah.
because it was who we got traded for, and that was always going to be put on him.
And then after that happened too, just things, bad things happening here in the market and everything. You felt, again, good
Yeah.
dude and decent player, but just not working.
Oh, and this now just coming from Chris Johnston, now of The Athletic. by the way.
Yes.
Can confirm the NHL is rescinding the rule that prevented players from using pride tape on ice this season. Expect an official announcement to come shortly. So
Rescinding the rule that prevented them.
yeah, so now there's no longer a ban on it. If you want, so the NHL
They've canceled
banned
the
using
ban.
it. Yes.
Cancel culture
Cancel
again.
ban.
Boy, oh boy, it just won't stop, hey? Canceling the ban, I tell you.
So that
So they can.
they didn't want to fine anyone.
Okay.
Well, if they would have,
The story would have been massive,
my.
right?
Like,
So
they had no choice but to make that decision.
I can't believe they made that decision in the first
That's
place.
yeah,
It's
exactly. They'd
exactly.
like to hear to make this decision. You'd have
It's
to
not
make
even like I'm not going to sit here and say that you need a mandate pride tape or anything like that. The fact that you came out and said you can't do it if you wanted to, that puts you in a bad spot. Where what happened this weekend?
Yes.
Now they have to rescind it, and
Yeah.
everyone just laughs at the NHL and the decision makers, going, "You guys have no idea what you're doing."
Well, good on some of the players that did provide a bit of a pushback to get to this point, I guess, too.
Well, more players are apparently going to start wearing it, so that
Good,
now
good
can't
for
happen.
them.
Yeah. It's good for the league to get
Yeah,
that, because there's a lot of
absolutely.
bad noise
Oh my
coming from
God.
that. And,
They
and
would-
that's.
One extreme to the other. Like, find the middle ground. When they made that announcement a couple weeks ago, I'm like, why don't you just find the middle ground? Just finally, it took them a couple weeks. Good. If they want to do
And
it,
a
wanna
player to
wear-
push the envelope.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Like, sure.
Can I go CFL news that's just coming? I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen this.
Lay it on
Jamie
me,
just
brother.
sent it to us. From Boca Raton, Florida, Rod Peterson. Hearing Henry Burris is the leading candidate to become the head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Oh, juicy.
That's
That's an interesting one.
Very interesting.
He's been a coach a little bit. He's working on that. Let's see. As a coach, he was a Bears seasonal coaching assistant in 2020, then an offensive quality coach with them in 21. Went to the Lions in 22, offensive consultant, but that was like a very short thing. I don't even think the season started. Before he went to the Jags to be offensive quality control coach. And right now is the assistant tight end coach of the Rams. So no play calling experience of anything, special teams, offense, defense.
But he'll give a hell of an interview and a soundbite. And boy, can he smile. And everybody's going to love that and eat it up. Yeah, quality coach, consultant coach, like all of this stuff that...
Assistant tight end coach.
Assistant to the
Assistant tight
assistant
end
of the
coach.
consultant.
Oh yeah, they have
to the-
assistants for all their coaches.
Yeah.
down
NFL's
there.
got, yeah. I mean,
I think
it's-
it would be great for the Elks if that happened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As an
Yeah.
Elks fan, you should be cheering on that
That's-
move totally.
yeah,
I mean,
do
that's
it.
and,
Go get
and-
the guy with no experience.
Exactly.
You know,
When,
it's
And I look at it right now and I go, you got Scott Milanovich out there who someone needs to hire.
Hey, we did.
who had a
I
relationship
know.
with Trevor Harris back in the day, back
Yes.
when that hiring took place.
You got Corey Mace with Toronto. He's done some amazing things. Ryan Phillips in BC.
Jordan
I don't think he's
McSimic
being talked
in
about.
BC
Jordan
as well.
Masimic in BC. Like, there's some really good candidates, I
Couple
think, this
guys
year.
in Calgary.
There's a crop
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
of coaching that you can get to that outside of Milanovich. That isn't even the retread. But to go Burrs, it's an out of the box thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe it goes really well, and what a story that would be. But
Yeah,
that's a
Mark
little
Killam in
risky for
Calgary.
Killam,
a
yeah, I like
president
him.
that
Well, for a GM that just got extended based on the
kinda
fact
wanted
that he
Kill
doesn't
him to
have
get the job here
his
a couple
guy, and
years
now he's
ago.
going to bring this guy. This is his guy. Is
Was
that
it
what
his
he's
guy?
doing?
Is
Yeah,
it-
Well,
when
I don't
Chris
know. I
Jones
mean,
got it.
Yeah.
clearly it's just kind of a PR move here to
is it
settle the masses.
Jeremy
I don't
O'Day's
know.
guy that's going to be hired, or is it Craig Reynolds' guy?
Well,
That's
Craig
the problem when
Jeremy O'Day is Craig Reynolds' guy, and then Craig Reynolds' guy tells Craig Reynolds' guy what to hire, and then so he hires whatever
Because he just
wants to.
signed, GM just signed a 3-year
Yes.
deal there yesterday.
But he also, the GM, O'Day, when he gets signed, he says that he was told that Craig Dickinson's going to be let go, like just that day. Well, you're the GM. Shouldn't you be making that decision? Why is the
Technically,
president
yes.
telling you this?
Yeah.
Like that, and that's why I'll go.
I think that whole
if Henry
move-
Burst is getting
Yeah.
hired, who's making the hiring in Saskatchewan then? Is it O'Day or is Reynolds making this hire?
I think that whole thing too is that Dickinson leaving was a mutual. I mean, everybody kind of that was probably
That
a
happened.
handshake deal
Yeah.
with the whole room, and then it was kind of so. I whoever signed off and called him into the office. I mean, that's we all knew it happened, but yeah, Burris. This on the surface, it sounds like one of these Hail Mary PR things to kind of settle the masses.
I would understand.
and
if
I don't know
it was
why
like,
that name would be it
like
to settle the
OC.
masses. Bringing Darian Durant to coach the team.
Bring him as an OC or something. I know. Do you like? It sounds like Chris Jones is going to stick around.
Yeah, I think that was expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think he needs something off of his plate. So,
But no one will ever do that, right?
well, these
You would just hope behind the scenes he goes to G. Roy and goes,
G-Roy, right.
take a
Whe-
little more from me
whether
on this.
whether
But
G. Roy
he wants
is the
title.
real GM or the de facto GM as the assistant GM. I mean, he needs to do less so he can focus more on coaching.
Yeah.
That needs to happen.
defense especially.
And
But I
I
said too, these players have never he doesn't lose the room, doesn't like all of this
No,
stuff,
he
and we all
doesn't.
make noise out of it as we should. I mean, that's and people pay to watch a bad record, but man, he's got that place, and at least again from a Rough Rider point of view, you're kind of wandering around here going, what do we? At least here you've got some structure, you've got some cohesiveness, as you've mentioned, and we can't fail to mention it. Jones and Co inherited nothing. It's not like you're coming into a broken project or one that's, there's some embers and ashes laying around. There's really nothing.
Yeah.
He's taken some time. Hasn't done all the decisions perfectly correct.
of course not.
You never
Nobody
do.
does.
However, I think still, again, touching base and feeling the pulse of the fan base down at least at the tailgate, there's a lot of optimism and enthusiasm. And at least, again, maybe you haven't reached where you want to go yet, but when you're on a path and you can see something, there's something materializing in front of you as opposed to going, what the hell are we doing? And talking about Henry Burns.
And if a change happened now, where now what?
What are you doing? Yeah, like,
exactly.
where
Like, you're
we-
starting from
yeah.
scratch, and then some of these young guys. I mean, there's a boatload of good young talented players that are here. If a new coach is coming in, do they feel like they might choose to not want to come back? You need to keep him for one more year. Give him one more year, and if there's not a big jump next year, okay. But in that process, you need to get a lot of these young guys under some contracts so they're
Yep.
going to be here for a while.
While looking at that free agent list according to 3 Down Nation, there's like almost everyone's locked up that you would want for the Elks. Like it,
And that's a good
there's
sign.
not a
Yeah.
big lot of pending free agents. Was actually to me, it's a little like ooh because they need to free up a little bit of cap. And
Okay,
it's like
well,
it's going to
they'll-
have to come with
yeah.
either trades or cutting guys. Whereas free agency, at least you could just let a guy walk. But like everyone is coming back. It seems like, which is reverse of the Riders, where like everyone's a free agent. It seems like, and that's why I also don't understand how they like Craig Reynolds yesterday goes or O'Day. They got a good roster going because none of those guys are signed.
Yeah.
Well, and they said, I think the quote was, we don't have a bad roster, which again, well, congratulations, you don't have a bad roster. I think as a fan, you want a great roster. You should be aiming to have a great roster.
Yeah.
That's not good enough. And as you mentioned too, I think in the CFL with how contracts and just the lay of the land, if you're going to make a wholesale change and you have 3/4 of your roster being free agents, maybe
This
that's
is
the
the time.
type. It's the universe is speaking to you that maybe now is the easiest time to move. As
Clean
opposed to
everyone
the
up.
Elks, who yes, everything's kind of established already. You might as well see the thing through until the end.
Let a president come in, hire a GM, let that GM hire a coach, and let that GM build a roster over the next 2-3 years to get back to being a top franchise, as opposed to trying to put some band-aids on what you have going on here. And
And you can turn it around the CFL real quick, as I mean, you should. This isn't they're not handing out 8-year plans or anything. And with the Elks record, and we had Jones on this morning, I don't think the record totally tells the entire package. A few games early on in the season, they would have won 9 out of 10 times, and down the stretch, you're playing close to 500 ball. So that's encouraging there, as opposed to just the overall seasonal record.
So how big a jump do you think is realistic for next year?
playoffs.
Yeah.
Has to be.
I'm further. They
You
gotta
mean
compete
win
for,
in the playoffs?
They got to compete for a Grey Cup. next year. That's the
You gotta make the
expectation I'm throwing them.
playoffs.
I know, but like when Chris Jones took over this team, I envisioned 3-year plan. Year 1 was a mess. It was. This year was supposed to be compete for a West playoff spot. They kind of did that for a little bit, but not really. But they missed that. But that doesn't change my expectation for the team. I expect them to. It doesn't take long to turn a team around in the CFL.
It doesn't, and it shouldn't.
And you could easily take that. Like at some point, Winnipeg's going to slowly take their. They took a little step back this year, I would say.
They're always getting
age
older.
is going to catch up eventually. Lions are a good football team. We got to look at the West. You could pass Calgary next year. You should be ahead of Saskatchewan next year.
Sure.
So you should be able to compete, I think, next year. Yeah, on one game in November against the Winnipeg Blue
Anyone
Bombers,
can.
you should be able to
Anything can happen in the playoffs. You
Yeah.
get in the playoffs, anything can happen.
And I mean, I think too, reasonably speaking, a home playoff date.
That's
That'd be
competing
great.
in the West. BC and Winnipeg are still a year older, whatever. We'll see where these coordinators maybe end up.
Yep.
But they'll still be up there. I think you'll get Saskatchewan now as a rebuilding project as well. And Calgary, I don't know. But
if I have to take it a little back from the compete for Grey Cup, would be you'd have to host a playoff game next year. It's not get to the playoffs.
competing
At
in
some
the
point,
West
you got
is
to take
hard.
a real step
Yeah.
forward as this organization, and you
Yeah.
can't just take small steps. At some point, you got to take that big leap. And I think you got to at least be hosting a semifinal next year.
And because they are so young, and Trey Ford paramount among that, he's going to continue to get better as the season progresses next year. And a lot of those young guys. So yes, they're 1 or 2 years in now, but by the time they get to the playoffs, they'll be like 3 years in. And okay, maybe they sneak into the playoffs, but maybe they'll be on a little bit of a roll and can carry it through.
Well, when you're so that young, you could easily take a huge step forward and develop with like in going into the next year.
Oh, 100%.
Also,
But with a
Trey
new
Ford-
OC too,
with
that
the whole-
happened mid-season.
Yeah.
Now you have an off. Now you know both of them
Jarius
know.
Jackson, him could talk throughout the entire off season and see where it goes.
Develop a plan.
I think it's expected that the Elks take a big jump forward next year, a big one.
Yeah.
It can't be.
It's
They
realistic
can't be
to think
8
it can
and,
happen.
9-9.
But if they fired Chris Jones, I don't think it would happen next year.
It'd be tough. You're resetting the clock.
Right.
Then somebody comes in, you're saying you got 3 years.
And so, as Eric just said, I think we need to see it through one more year.
Yes,
for sure.
but again, the leash every year it's getting tighter. Now you're
Yeah.
kind of you're choking it now.
It's
This
time.
is it.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the time. Yeah.
Real quick text,
go
and
for
we
it.
got to wrap here. It's from Mary.
Oh, Mary,
Oh, it's her
happy
birthday,
birthday!
isn't
She
it?
goes,
Happy birthday,
oh my
Mary."
God, you guys are awesome. Thank you for my birthday, Conch Twitter Mary. P.S. I will still be your receptionist. I can make coffee and snacks. Haha. Happy birthday, Twitter Mary.
Love it. See you at Boston Pizza Capilano tonight. Twitter,
Hey
Mary.
there.
Hey, why not?
Oil Stream pregame show live from Capilano Boston Pizza, 5:30. You're on the air.
Yes, sir.
You also have postgame show live from the BPs. A little bit of a watch party happening. If you've got time tonight, please sure to join us for that. Coming up next, it is the Lock Shop. Dusty and Huss. 16 games to bet from in the National Hockey League. A big baseball game. 2 games in the NBA. And we got Champions League going right now. Byron's underway.
Fonzie's on
10
the pitch,
minutes.
eh?
We're 10 minutes into the
Alrighty.
Byron match going on right now.
Hey.
And then 2 guys and a goalie, Dusty and Gager. Janmark on the top line. We'll get that full recap.
They're going to be all over that Janmark top line on 2 guys and a goalie today.
Murray, what are you up to for the rest of today?
Well, I'm going to go to work for a little while and take my kid to piano lessons.
Oh, piano.
Piano lessons.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, all
it's great
good.
seeing
Love
you
it.
Nice to see you,
again.
Murray.
On behalf of YouTube Trev, Lieutenant Eric, Tom Gazzola, Mary McCourt, I'm Matt Iwanyk. Thanks for tuning in to the Hangout. Like we said, up next, it is the Lock Shop coming up in mere minutes. Just stay tuned for that right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com or Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel.